I think we're there.
All right. You think we're streaming, huh? All right.
I mean, the thing says we are.
Looks like something's happening.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I'm sure. Sure, we're good. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Now, all right. So
You're right.
there's a D&D thing in Gnome. Where's that?
I thought you just clicked on the center clock thing in the upper bar dealio.
I see. Take a screenshot thing, settings, locky thing.
I don't have
Let's
Gnome in
see.
front of me, so I'm flying blind.
Sound mic. Maybe it's under the sound stuff. No. What if I just
No, not
search it?
to. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. There. Yep. Oh my God. It's just a toggle. Okay, but we're gonna see if it actually gets respected, though.
Was I close? Was I close though?
Oh, you had it right. I just didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, shoo. I don't use Gnome, but I remembered that. Amazing.
You had it
I
right,
can't.
man.
I get all the useless stuff.
Of course. Let's see. Need that one. Need that one. Doody doo 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 doo. Nope, that's not the right tab. Doo doo doo. Mastodon. And what is twitch.tv/. I like how you're not logged in, but it still shows that you have a notification. Sneaky dudes.
Yeah, that's sneaky.
Oh, hey, I may not have updated the logo over there, huh?
We
still have the old
that now?
We sure do. Still the old logo.
Yeah, where's that now?
Mastodon.
Oh, Mastodon.
Oh, on Twitch. On Twitch. I think
on Twitch.
Still have the old logo.
You're right.
Yeah,
we do,
I
yeah.
should go change
It's not
that.
the new colored one, no.
New purpley.
Yep, it's very just dark.
Old darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
On tonight's live stream, Leo will sing to you. He'll serenade you all the way into your user space.
That's right. All right, Dan, do me a favor. I don't know why I'm not logged in on Element over here, but can you copy pasta this message
I could probably do something.
From the Discord.
I can do something.
That's all I need. We've done it.
So put that over here, into there, right here.
Here, there, and everywhere.
There it is. It's out there.
Yay, thank you. I don't have... No. I'm sorry, everybody. No. Wait. No, okay, we're
good. I'm logged in on 2 accounts.
Look at you. You're helping our numbers, man. That's what counts.
I guess so. Well, on Matrix.
Oh. Let's see. No, I don't need any of that. Twitch. I just want the chat, man. Okay, shh. Shut up. I always forget how to... Oh my God, BGT. Oh, cool. All right. I was meaning to type away all the answers and responses to those questions, and I haven't done it yet. So since you're here, we can rebut the rebuttals of the rebuttal of the assertion. Whatever.
What are we calling that? What do we call that?
I have no idea, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna figure out how to get this chat out here. It's gonna happen. I know it will.
I think you There's a way. There
I
is a
know. Oh,
way.
here it is. Okay, dude. It's like what do you call that? Plasma, man. When I click the little cog in the chat, it's like 27,000 different options there. So it's like plasma. I knew what I
Right down
wanted
there at
was
the.
there.
You mean right down there at the bottom where it says pop out chat?
Shh. No.
Oh,
No.
okay. That's not the one. Gotcha.
There is no down there. No, you're lying to me.
Right next to the button that says chat.
Yeah, that's chat settings, a little cogwheel, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
the
but it's
bottom
in the
one says.
menu that had like 7,000 things.
Well, it does have a bunch of stuff, but the bottom one says pop out chat.
It wasn't bottom for me. It was like in the middle of
Oh,
like
really?
25 different. Yeah. Yeah, man. Listen,
Okay.
I'm slow. I couldn't find
Oh,
D&D, but at least I have an excuse for the pop out chat. There were like 20 things. Larry. Okay. All right. Let's hit it real quick. Let's take care of the BGT stuff
yeah. Yeah, let's
because
do that.
he's here. All right, hang on. I can't get away from that. Do. I'm gonna figure it out. I promise. All right. Okay. I'm not signed in over there, but I'm signed in over here. So let's go back here. Let's find it. Where are we? Oh, here we go. The mile-long post. I found it.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Let's boil it down into the bite-sized chunks. Probably, I guess. I don't know.
hang on. Let's see.
Yeah,
All right. I think this is the first one that I didn't talk about. So,
BGT says he doesn't remember anymore. It's been so long, right?
oh, good. See, no, trust. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. We're gonna refresh because I'm in the same boat, man. Like, yeah, I've been thinking about it, but I forgot exactly what it is that we were talking about. So, about pragmatic versus philosophical. If we're so pragmatical and we don't care where our stuff comes from, why are we using Linux at all? Why use Firefox as a browser? Why use F-Droid whenever possible on the Android App Store side of things? Why use an Android over an iPhone? All right, so
let's dive into that a bit.
okay, so why are we using Linux at all?
Well, I just want to say that pragmatic, philosophical. I mean, I feel like it's a sliding scale a little bit, and you need to pick. You need to start at one end and work your way towards the other, and hopefully you get towards the other end as a goal. But I don't know that you can just jump right into the deep end of the pool, if you will.
Yeah.
So that's the first point, I guess. Everybody has their end point and what's acceptable and what's not, I guess. And I think you need to define that what your end goal is there, right? How
Yeah, because
much do you want to give away?
I don't think I use Linux to be fully FOSS compliant or anything like that. I don't think there's any end to that. I don't think. I mean, well, there is an end to that, I guess. You run your system like Richard Stallman does and refuse to use anything that has anything to do with any kind of proprietary code. So, I'm far away from that. See, he said no one says one should use free software exclusively.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, to do so.
I think we're in total agreement on that, right? Yeah, no, I think those are goals, and you don't always get to your goals, but you need to strive for them.
Yeah. And I think I sit one large step to the, I guess if we're having free and open source software on one end and proprietary software on the other, I'm one large step on the proprietary side, closer to proprietary than that statement, right? I use Linux because I think Linux is cool. I think the idea that people coming together, proprietary or not, doesn't matter. The idea that people coming together and hodgepodging together software and somehow, at least in the late 90s, early 2000s, it amalgamated into something like this. We had a full-on, Linux kernel with a graphical stack on top of it and all kinds of tools. Because I guess my early computing years was very much steeped in hacker culture. Like it was
Hmm.
the height of that time in the late '90s when hackers were getting thrown in jail for exorbitant amount of times, for an exorbitant length of time, because people just did not understand what it was to be doing that kind of thing. And now we pay people, like we pay people thousands of dollars to do what people got thrown in jail for back in the '90s, right? And there was a bit of edge to that,
Hmm.
but the edge has dulled a little bit over the years. But that's why I do it, man. That's why I'm
Yeah,
here.
I'll take that a little bit different angle, if you will. Maybe perhaps as someone that's a contributor to some of these things. I think it's important to me because of the community that is behind things and the fact that you can like you say hodgepodge, but I say maybe even in a bit more professional manner than that, although not necessarily not necessarily as professionals, but you can do things on your own independently and still come together in a collaborative manner and produce great things, like you said. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like coming together, forming these communities because you're like-minded in a
Yeah,
way, right? You are working, generally speaking, on
that's why it's
things
cool.
that yeah, generally you're working on things that you want to see progress. You're working on your own scratch my own itch sort of thing to make it better. So I think that's important. I think we can't lose sight of the fact that we can do some of these things, perhaps sometimes even better than big corporations,
Yeah,
and provide valuable uh, you know components to everyone, free
yeah,
in a way. Um, so the fact that you can give back and take, I think, is important because you don't get that anywhere else. You can't give, I mean, you give money to Microsoft or Apple, but you can't contribute anything other than that. You can't contribute to the documentation. You can't. Um, I guess you could go help out at on a Reddit forum or something, but it's not quite the same as some distributions discourse or something like that, right?
right.
So I feel like it, not everybody does that, but um, I think being able to have that as a way of payment, but not really, it's not really payment per se, but it's a way of payment.
Mm.
Um, I think is important. It gives you, it's beyond the dollar. It's and that's lost sight of in other avenues.
Yeah, I think so. I think ultimately BGT agrees, and he mentions it. There's a middle ground there at
Hmm.
the end of that particular comment. He says,
Right?
but that shouldn't mean we give up the last
No,
stretch. So losing the
no,
ideal of free software itself is what we should be careful about. And I think the license prevents anybody from forgetting about it. You can't forget
hopefully,
about it
yeah,
because
yeah,
the license says that you cannot. And then you have people like the SFC go and try to lay the slap down on people that do.
right.
Um, and yeah, I mean, as far as Snap goes, as far as that weird Red Hat thing, they're not closed source, but for customers only, customers eyes only. I mean, it may not follow the spirit of the law, but yeah. I mean, it
It's
no
shady.
one's gonna challenge them.
Yeah.
There's nobody with enough.
Well, even
Um,
if you did, like, how long is that going to take, and what's the end result?
yeah,
What damage is going to be done? I guess along the way, what's I mean, and who's going to come out the victor?
Red Hat.
As yeah, right. But in a way, it's a lot of what we talked about in the gnome episode, right?
Yeah,
They got hit up a couple of times, and it didn't ultimately, even though gnome sort of came out the other side with things, it hurt them along the way, and it wasn't good,
yeah,
even though like because of all of it, just dragged it down, right? And
yeah. I don't know,
I feel
man.
like
I feel like if KDE were the real front runner at that time, all of the stuff that KDE did at the time probably would have driven just as many people away. I don't think there's pleasing everybody, and that's why Linux is fragmented the way that it is. But I think the fragmentation is a good thing because
Right.
you may not be able to
Not
please everybody, but most of the projects can please most of the people. So,
right. I was just saying that there were the two lawsuits, right? That basically dragged Gnome down, even though
mm,
they were in the right
got it.
and they were fighting back. It
Mm,
was still hurtful for them. You're right.
right.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Um, oh, so actually, BGT, I wanted to ask you about this one. Fans of barriers to entry, fans of the buy-in stuff. I didn't know what you meant by that, but um, anyway, so no more free software for the lot of us. That's why I didn't understand, because I don't think I said anything that I remember. Maybe I did. That that fell into the camp uh of that, but I don't know. And let me see. Yeah, but that's why I like free software. You mentioned that underdeveloped countries. I mean, they wouldn't be able to afford it. But that's why free software is so cool, that you don't have to pay for it. Um, a tax for snaps.
I don't think tax. No, I don't feel like tax is. I think more. I don't mind if we have optional payment for things, and if they get back to the developer, like Elementary
Yeah,
does with
yeah,
their store. I think that's a fine model, and that helps get the resource back to the people that are doing the work.
yeah. I do not recall.
You said that, huh?
You'd be okay with an apple's. Oh, on the developer side. Ah, okay.
Oh,
So,
oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah. To contribute.
So
Oh, yeah.
what I'm saying there is that I mean, the software that goes into the Snap Store can be gotten anywhere. You can get it anywhere. You can compile it yourself. There is no reason why anybody would be beholden to snaps alone. Not even Ubuntu forces only snaps. There are a gajillion ways to get around it. There are a gajillion ways to get your software. But if you want to have a store that um, has that barrier to entry, so that you can be a little more confident that you're not getting malware, because I followed up the idea that the reason that spam exists is because it costs nothing to
Right.
spam an email inbox, right? And so that means that this is where the Microsoft Store got screwed up in its first 5-10 years, and people hated it because all it was trash. It was people trying to just get apps in there so that they would be the one app for that one thing or whatever. But a lot of times that just ended up being people with terrible, terrible software. And most everything starts out that way. I mean, Linux started out that way. But now that we have software that runs well, now that we have proprietary solutions, now that we have absolutely everything in there, I don't see why one of the stores could not do some kind of a developer buy-in before you can post an app. And I would bet, and I mean I would put money on it, that you would see less of the bad software that you see elsewhere, because there's actual, not just effort, but a hurdle that you have to jump over to be able to post it there. But that doesn't mean that you can't post it in FlatHub or your own Flatpak repository. It doesn't mean that you can't distribute a tarball. It doesn't mean you can't do app image. It doesn't mean, so it's not exclusionary in that way. In like if there's an F droid, but then there's also a G droid, I mean, you have your options. So it's not saying that, my comment there was not saying that it would be the only way to do it, because anybody that didn't want to handle that, didn't want to deal with that, wouldn't. So, and I think
Right.
people already do that with
Uh,
in a philosophical way, because they don't want to deal with the ick of the
yeah.
perception of snaps.
And I think you say what you want about snaps. There is some oversight, if you will, even though it's not, you don't pay for it right now. I mean, and that does cost some resources, but there is some oversight to make sure some of that spam stuff doesn't get there. Not
Mm-hmm.
saying there isn't a bajillion hello worlds out there, but they're not harmful, and someone is kind of curating that in a way to make sure there's no harmful things.
Yeah,
All of that takes time, and there's only so many people to go around to get it done, but some review is happening.
yeah, and so BGT follows up with Snap itself would be exclusionary. But yes. And I mean, every software, every like repository that distribute every distribution avenue is exclusionary on its face, because now you have to learn how to package something up with Flatpak and learn how to deal with all of that before you can actually publish your software, or you have to deal with a tarball, or you have to deal with anything else. And just because it's a monetary hurdle to get over doesn't mean that that is the only way to be exclusionary. You can do that in any way. This is just another way to attack it. And there could be a eighth distribution option that does that. And if it gets popular because of the high quality software, I mean, you could debate the quality of the software, but if it gets popular because of how it curates things, then yeah. And I mean, even GNOME software, which is an avenue to get to the distribution of software, is exclusionary because of the way that it puts featured applications on the front of its store. You're more likely to click on that and download and use that software as opposed to StarOffice. Like, so if LibreOffice showed up, right, that would be downloaded more times than StarOffice, which you can search for and get after the fact. But I don't know. There's lots of ways to be exclusionary, and that's the way that the App Store does it on the Apple side, and they deal with, not that they deal with zero amount of malware, they deal with less malware than Android and especially Windows does. I think finally Microsoft has finally caught up to the idea of using AI and heuristics and stuff to keep a lot of that malware out. But man, in the early days, because that's where the idea was coming from. The early days was wild, very, very Wild West. A lot the way that Android was in the very, very beginning, where man, you never
they're
really
starting to go the other direction too. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. If there's a small amount of buy-in on the Android thing these days.
I don't know about that, but I mean, I feel like there's better curation going on.
But it definitely is that. All right, so let me see. All right, so Windows takes longer to boot than Ubuntu, but Arch with Mate, Pipewire, and the GDM Display Manager, kind of what Ubuntu would have, takes twice as short. Oh yeah, so we're talking about the boot time. Did you ever find out? I remember, Dan, we were talking about like
I don't know if we ever tested that. I didn't test it.
Yeah, because the original framework really does not like to be in sleep. The hardware just drains the battery, so I never really sleep it anymore. But we were kind of talking about how long it takes to boot, and this framework has to boot every single time. And I mean, there's no way it's more than 10 seconds. There's no way. And if it were 8 seconds, I don't know that I would be more or less upset at all. I think it boots in a reasonable amount of time. And I think 2 or 3 of those seconds is it sitting on the grub screen where it's like, hey, you want to boot into Windows today? You want to boot into whatever? Yeah, so one good thing he says about snaps is that they put the executables on the path so that you can just type in the name of the thing. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think that's a big reason to use it or anything like that. I don't know. I think they're fine. I think the server implementation, I think the idea that it being proprietary was a little overblown. It is proprietary, I guess. In that they don't share how they do their server, but Rudra and I know there was one more said that you could, or actually Rudra did, and in 2016 I think early on.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
it was the basic idea how to set it up, so you could do it as early as 2016, and then Rudra did it like last year or the year before. I just don't think there's anybody with a whole lot of interest, because for the same reason that FlatHub became the only place people get their Flatpaks from.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nobody really cares to do it, and I mean, I guess Snap is not popular enough to really actually go and do that. But you don't see it in the Flatpak side either. I mean, you see maybe a developer or two standing up their own Flatpak repository for their own software and their own things. But
yeah, I think we listed them on the show, right? I mean, there isn't that many, right? So there's the Fedora one, which some of those
they do it selfishly.
Some of those are duplicated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
some of them are duplicated.
right, and not in a bad way, but they do it selfishly for Silverblue and
They
things
do.
like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think so they've got their own out of that. They get their own Firefox and stuff too. I think for Silverblue,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know what all they have in there honestly, but they have their own. The other thing is Elementary's got theirs right, and
Yep.
theirs is set up a little different.
And people didn't like
And
the fact that you were free to pay nothing or free to pay something. There
right,
was a whole lot of hullabaloo about all of that as well. So I mean, I know that I'm
and,
already further than that.
and so I think
Further over.
that's it. Other than those, as far as popularity,
Yeah.
I think everything else is way off the chart.
Yeah. Larry and Eric are all on the Snap train.
Mhm.
You're going down with
They
me.
work. Mm,
You better upgrade
So,
to Kernel 666 because we're all out of here, man.
just to go back to like boot times, I guess. I mean, I don't have the right total boot time, but to I did a system D analyze blame,
Oh, let's see. I'll
and
do that too.
and so like the Snap daemon service took 1.368 seconds to start on my machine, and
NetworkManager, you said?
no, Snapd
Oh, Snapd. Snapd. How long did you say it took?
1.368 seconds.
Ooh, I got you beat, dude. 1.011
Well,
seconds on that
that's
one.
fine. Like, but as a reference on my machine, I also have Podman, right? So that I can do
Ah,
DistroBox. I can do DistroBox that way, right? And so that took 1.062 seconds.
yeah.
So 300 milliseconds more to do Snap versus DistroBox.
What's the last thing on the list? Is it Network Manager?
Oh, I don't know, probably.
Mine is Network
No.
Manager, and so I'm in a
Oh yeah, Network Manager, 189 milliseconds. Yeah.
what?
Actually, log rotate is on my bottom of my list.
Oh, sorry. I meant the what took the longest? What is the absolute
Oh, the
last thing?
longest. The absolute longest? FS trim.
Trim. You're running
Yeah.
trim, huh? Okay. How long did that take?
Mm, That took a ridiculous 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Okay, but okay, wait. That's not really dealing with the boot though. That's just
Probably
something that
not.
happened in the background. Okay. So maybe
Yeah.
I'll have a couple more things showing up,
So
but
boot Network Manager wait online service took 7.6 seconds.
okay. I'm at 3.326 seconds. So I was in a networkable state at about 3.5 seconds. That's a very short amount of time to boot.
Yeah, no, that is pretty quick.
And I mean, even if I doubled that because of snaps, let's say snaps doubled that for me, and because it certainly did not. I'd have been all right with that. I mean, it would have been 7 seconds. That's okay. I think that would be okay because I was thinking 10, man. But I guess that is like going through UEFI and going all through all of that too is part of that. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, it's like I don't notice it. I mean, I get it. I push the button and then like seconds later, I log in and there we go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't reboot. This is my desktop, so I don't reboot that a ton.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
you know,
I have the
I
next
guess.
question, and I actually have a really good answer for this question. But oh no, I have it in. Okay, all right. So about pinning. So you go on to talk about like updating, right? Like because they'll automatically update for you in the background, but you can stop that. And I
We
didn't know that you could actually fully stop that. We talked about pinning,
we
and
did, but then we looked at it in the last live stream, maybe.
let me see, because I found this post from back on 2022 by Igor. I'm not even going to try that last name. Lebunchich, maybe. Anyway, it's called "Hold Your Horses." I mean, snaps. New feature lets you stop snap updates. Hang on, I'm gonna get this on the screen because I had that one saved on my phone because I was looking. Let me see. Right here, this one.
All right,
No.
you got to get
Oh
your
my
terminal
god.
out of the way, though.
Oh, let me close the eyeball. There you go. Let's get this big.
There you go.
All right, check this out. So, right here.
Refresh, hold, yeah.
This is the one right here. stop the automatic refresh completely and without a timer. But the post is about how to do it like per package or for a few packages, or just wait 48 hours, or to deal with like low bandwidth situations or metered bandwidth situations. There's a bunch of different ways that you can handle snaps. But at the end of the post, it is, if you don't want to think about any of that and you just want to be able to do your updates manually, blah, 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 there is a simple command for that. And to stop the automatic refresh completely and without a timer, snap refresh -- hold. And that will indefinitely hold all of your snaps in the entire system. And you can go in and update all of them or some of them at any given time, whenever you feel like it. So that particular part, yeah, you don't really have to fight with it. It's one command, and that's all you got to do. So it's less fighting with it and more just, you got to be aware the first time. When you boot your system from the very, very beginning, right? Just don't forget to run that one command, and it'll stop it. But yeah, I get that one. I let my server do the auto refresh thing because Nextcloud, and I'm scared, so I let Nextcloud do its own thing. But on my laptop, like, I would actually go out and say no to Kdenlive. If I had Kdenlive installed via Snap, I would stop it. I do stop it in Flatpak. I prevent it from updating automatically because, actually, I think on Mint it doesn't.
It depends on the distribution.
I do.
Not all of them do.
Yeah.
So here in Ubuntu land, it doesn't do it automatically as far as Flatpaks.
Yeah.
I can go and discover and do it there, or I can do it obviously from the command line.
Yeah. If in Mint you can accidentally upgrade them all at the same time because it's integrated into their update manager, and it looks like every other update, except the icon to the left is a little different. It's a little box. So if you're not careful, you can accidentally update all your Flatpaks. But all I do, because
well, you could do it in Discover too. You just hit the update all button. And,
see, I do that in GNOME too much.
Right?
I would screw myself so hard if I did that on Ubuntu GNOME. That's for sure. Same on Fedora. It's always up to date on Fedora. I boot into it about once a week and kind of poke around, make sure everything's working.
I think they have it automatically turned on. Yeah.
Oh, so that would mess me up. I would need to go in and make sure that is not the case. Kdenlive is one of those ones, and Audacity too is one of those ones that the after version 3, like when MuseScore took it over, like stuff started moving around, like, and it happened multiple times. And there was one time I updated it, got into it, started editing audio, and I'm like, one of the major buttons is missing.
It's just gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the little left-right button where you could like move a track. That vanished, but you just grab the title bar of the track and you can move it, so you don't have to actually change your tool to do that anymore, which is a good change, but it freaked me out. And
you weren't ready for it, yeah.
No, and I didn't know it was coming either. So I'm over here Googling, and then I finally hit a post where it was like, nah, you're silly, just the top, you're good.
Distract that, yeah.
Yeah, gets me every time, man. Let's see. Oh, so a lot of what you're waiting on, BGT, is the firmware to get doing what it's doing, huh?
Yeah, that can be a pain.
Yeah. Yeah, the pre-boot stuff. And that's what I was saying, man, because I think it takes like 10, 12 seconds to fully boot, and apparently more than half of that is sitting in firmware.
Right, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let me see. I think that might have been it. Let me see.
I think we're like, honestly, I think we're really close on these things for the most part, right?
I think so.
I think we all are, right? And so we just, everybody's we've got some goals. We're trying to hit them. Nothing's perfect, but we're trying. And ultimately, some things, depending on the compromise that you're living with, you can get around some of the issues. It just takes a little more work.
Yep. Yeah, it really does. It really does. And I think that's okay. I think tinkering.
It depends on where you want to put your work, right? Essentially.
Yeah. I think I'm just happy to be using Linux, however that gets put together. And if for some reason,
it gets us there mostly.
Yeah. And for some reason, if Ubuntu really goes off the deep end, I don't think they've done it yet. I don't even think we're that particularly close. People were saying the same thing about Unity. How dare you leave GNOME and start working on your own thing? The whole fragmentation. That's really when the fragmentation conversation got turned up again. But I sit on the total opposite side of that, man. I'm like, yeah, actually, do another desktop. I dare you. Do another distro. Do another Blue Devil, another one. Do another one. I dare you. Because what ends up happening is people find better solutions for things, and then those things, either the small solution itself gets ported into a different project, or the entire project wins. And I mean, most of the time, the project that wins is the one that has the most money. But I mean, it's not like that code is not open source, and you couldn't just steal that code to use it in your own project either. So the money that the corporate folks are pumping into Linux still benefits everybody because of what I said before about the licensing. The licensing takes care of the pragmatic or the philosophical side of it all for us. I don't even have to think about what's happening back there anymore, because the license will kind of just take care of it for us. Yeah. We can never have enough. Technical debt is good when it's down to zero. Yeah, when there's no debt, yeah. But yeah, we can never have enough, man. Never have enough. It's why BSD is still doing the thing. Because if they took the same stance that everybody else took about duplication of effort, then the BSDs would have died a long time ago, and they would have just become Linux developers or no developers at all, which would make for a less cool ecosystem. And we wouldn't be able to do the history of BSDs one day. That would be sad. Well, I guess we would, but then it wouldn't be we couldn't really run it. We would have to run it in isolation, like full isolation. Run it like we do Windows XP today.
Right.
All right. So I think what we need to do, unless you have anything else to say on that, Dan.
No, I think we're there.
Good. Hey, good morning from Saigon. Almost missed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We need to get NetworkManager going, I think.
On the Gentoo, yeah.
I think so.
We got to finish some Gentoo things up. I mean, so you're using DHCP CD right now?
I do believe so.
So I think that's one of the things that you gotta nuke, I think.
Oh, wait.
I think.
Will it?
We'll have to find the wiki. I think on NetworkManager.
Okay, all right, okay, because that's a shaky situation. Because what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna have to nuking DHCPCD wouldn't drop my IP, right?
I can't remember, but I don't think so.
No, because the network stack's already running with that stuff. DHCPCD comes in and like writes.
You've already got an
configuration
address, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So it should.
so.
Well, we'll find out.
Let's look up NetworkManager in the Gentoo wiki.
Let's do it right here. Gentoo wiki.
So that we can.
Here, I'm gonna move. Here's what we'll do. I'm gonna try to make this guy a little smaller, and then I'm gonna. Nope. How do you? No. Come back. Oh. I'm gonna zoom. All right, if you're watching on a stream, how terrible is that? Is that too small? Too big?
Let me flip. That seems okay. It might be a little small, but
Here, I'll bump it up one more.
that's good. It's invisible.
It's invisible?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you need to be able. Yeah, visual is relative for some.
Oh, yeah, I get that. All right, let me see.
Actually, we talked about closed captioning.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Things, and so that's something we need to mess around with, seriously.
Well, I think the best way to do that, I don't think it's gonna.
Yeah, no, you made a good joke. It was excellent.
Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, that particular thing works well for sighted folks because I could have that up on the screen, which is really kind of cool. I forgot the name of that tool though.
Well, I mean, I don't know how that works with screen readers.
See, I just read the screen. That's the trick. I
Yes,
am
we
the
we
screen.
do read it back. I hope
Look at me.
enough.
I am the screen reader now.
Hmm.
All right.
So yeah, let me flip over to the wiki page here too. Um, so
So,
yeah, obviously important says network manager and other network management services typically do not work together.
oh,
That
right. Got it.
that
Okay.
includes a standalone instances of DHCP-CD and Gentoo's default net IFRC scripts. So be sure only one network management service is running at a time. Adding more than one network management service will lead to unpredictable results. So I
Okay.
get so I guess that's where I came in with yeah, if you've got DHCP CD, we probably need to handle that in a way,
Okay.
right?
Larry said when he installed Network Manager on Gentoo, it blew up his host name. The good thing about the only good
It
thing about
probably
that
would, yeah.
is my host name is also stored in DNS, so I should not. It might break inside, and I'll fix that later. But as far as me getting to it from here, it shouldn't
Yeah, well,
explode.
and like Network Manager's got its own ways to assign host names, so you need to go into do it the NM Network
Right.
Manager way.
Yeah, the host
Yeah,
name control thing. Is that it?
yes,
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, I think you can get to it through the NM2E if you use that as well.
Okay, so hostname control's already in there. That's a system D thing then. Okay.
Hmm. Could be.
Okay. All right. So looks like in my use flags, I just need network manager in there. So as far as use flags go, do I have Etsy? We're gonna have to go back in, man. I don't know how much I believe you that is pronounced portage. It probably
It may
is.
not be. Like you're probably right. Yeah. Like I don't know. I made that up.
It could be portage for all we know.
That's exact. See, that's what
See,
I mean.
exactly.
That's exactly what I mean. You never know. You never know. That's what I love about. That's another thing I love about open source and stuff like that. You have no idea how any of this stuff is pronounced, because the guy that wrote it is from Romania, and you thought he was from Spain, sucker.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of open to interpretation there.
Yep. Uh, say it like a screen reader. Ooh, is that hard to do? I feel like that there's a lot of
That sounds
mispronunciations
very
in screen
difficult.
readers,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? So I just need to ask the screen reader every time I do anything and then be like, well, that's what Orca told me. So you're the one that's wrong, okay? Sudo. Sudo.
To do.
Yeah, I think right now, BGT, I have the host name in Etsy hostname. That should be, that
That
should
should take
be,
care of it.
well, we'll see. We'll see how true, how good, how whether or not Larry's right for me. We'll find out. All right. So I just need network manager in the use flags. So I guess I don't have DHCP-CD. So I guess he didn't need anything like that. It just kind of does its own thing. So net.
Must be. Yeah.
And I suppose this is, in make.com. So this one's a big one. This one's in a global thing.
Yeah, because it's going to impact a whole bunch of things. It's not just a package of use flag, right? It's going to impact your whole desktop environment.
Hold on. How come nobody ever told me? People told me about eMaint. People told me about that other tool that we were supposed to be using that was really, really good at.
EIX, yeah.
Yeah, but nobody told me about eUse. eUse capital E Network Manager will append Network Manager to your use flags, I suppose, globally. What? Since when? Hold on. I'm gonna get rid of this. I want to see if that works. Does this work? Kidding.
Is this thing on?
Okay, eUse works. So look, enable the given use flags. What? Network
All right.
Manager. Added
All right.
flag was modified. Oh, and it gives me a backup cop. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Hold on. Now we got to check it. Here, less Etsy Portagy, make.com. It's obviously Portagy. Oh, it does weird things to it too. It adds the little line break whatchamajilly, like continues onto next line thing. Pulse Audio
Nice.
Network.
Nice.
It really does.
So formats it nicely. That's good.
Yeah, so you're not having to like arrow over to see the stupidly long list of things that you've made.
Yeah, one big solid line. Yeah.
That's pretty smart. Okay, I like that. Okay. Nobody told me about EUs. So
Well, now you know.
yeah, Twitch compiles Gentoo fail. Jeez, man.
Well, we haven't failed at it yet.
Let's see. All right, so
See,
cool.
we get smarter on every single one of these.
I know. I like EUs, man, because it's not like there's ever any shortage of changing your use flags. So what is the command? Is there a command that I could use to do package specific ones? Oh my God, right here, P. Yeah. So EUs right here, and then I suppose you just add the package to the list of stuff. Used with ED and R to apply specific packet. Oh my God. So EUs is the answer. It has always been the answer to dealing with all of this stuff. And so when I'm going into configuration files manually and typing this crap in, that's not really the wrong way because it worked, but it's the hard way. Well, hey,
It's a fine way.
it's a fine, I guess. It was the hard way, and I could have been doing it way easier, but whatever. Hey, you know what?
That's how you learn, though.
It is. Yeah, I've been doing it the hard way, and I definitely know how to do it the hard way, which is cool. I actually kind of appreciate that. All right. So NetworkManager uses an internal DHCP client implementation since version 1.2. There's 20. There's no explicit need for an external DHCP client. The DH client and DHCP use flags enable alternative implementations. I don't even have those use flags on, so I guess I have DHCP because I told it to have DHCP and it never got rid of it. Cool. Well, that's good because I have a IP address. That's great.
Well, it is great. Yeah, it's important.
I would be up creek a little bit if I didn't have one of those. I guess not really. I just do a static IP. How do you do it before? Because I'm a systemd system. Is it still the old Debian way where you go into the Etsy network?
The interfaces themselves.
Yeah.
You can go to the Etsy interfaces, I think.
Do I have that? Hold on.
Probably. It's probably a sim link to something. If I had to guess.
Is it? It's not Networks, is it? No.
Etsy network. I think it's like maybe.
Nope. That's just a file called Etsy Networks.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing in it because.
Is it netconfig? No, that's a file called netconfig. Well, they have stuff in it. Let's see what's in these things. No, those are port thingies. And no. That would have been it. Maybe file describes the number of no. That's mappings. Huh.
Anyway, no, it's Etsy networks. So it defaults to that. I think if you don't have anything right now, my Etsy network says 169.254.0.0. So that would be like your link local if you don't get an address.
Yeah, the
sort of thing, right?
old Peepa. Yeah.
And so you would, I guess, just plop down whatever network you'll want it to have, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess DHCP is applying those configurations directly to the interface, so they're not written anywhere?
Yeah, no, I think they're in a different spot.
Okay, they're somewhere else.
Yeah. But
okay,
I don't know where.
If I didn't...
I think if you didn't have all that stuff, you'd plop it down in there and then...
Yeah, if I didn't have to look
Etsy
up...
iFace? It could be.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, let's look in there. Nope, I got nothing.
I got nothing there either.
That's just a really cool question to ask. I think I love
old school.
That's my favorite, absolute favorite thing to do, right? Like, because you come up to these questions all the time, and it's like, well, how does it do it then? And then you always find some new novel way that it's doing stuff, which is, I mean, I think that's cool. I think that's really cool. But I may be the only one. I'm that weird guy that holds up the entire class asking why, and then the teacher gets mad at me and moves on. Yeah, that's what I do. Let's see. Okay. So we need to. Oh no! So I have to merge everything. Oh no, that's fine because I didn't do an emate thing, so I don't know about new packages yet, right? So that would be okay.
In theory, yeah.
This would only emerge packages that would need to be emerged as a result of changing the use flags. Okay. Oh, here we go. It's taking a little while. It's calculating. It's taking some time. It's taking some time. Hold on.
Chugga chugga, chugga chugga.
No. Are y'all seeing the bottom of that? Oh, y'all aren't.
Not the bottom? No, I can't see the bottom.
There. Now you can. Now you can see the bottom. Nothing to merge. Yes. Okay. I guess because I didn't compile anything with any other way, it didn't need to do anything. So now I can just install NetworkManager. All right. So like NetworkManager is a daemon, right? So you have to enable it before it does stuff. So okay. I'm guessing that's right. That sounds smart. I sound smart. Everyone in the hackerspace does that. Yeah, man, dude, that's I'm so infatuated with people that have questions. I think that's why I became a teacher. Cuz I wanted to be the teacher that and it kind of sucks cuz you really do have to move on sometimes, but like I like to be the guy that is like, "No, let's explore that." And then we'd spend 20 minutes learning something new, which is so cool, man. I love doing that. All right. And the way we just do stuff now, is that like all the stuff that you need to know is just on a video now. So you can just go watch it whenever you want. And I get to just do that all the time now. I just get to deal with the weird stuff now, which is so cool. All right. Doing that stuff. Looking ahead, I don't need a VPN yet. I will do that one day. How do you do NetworkManager WireGuard? What's up with that? None of them say WireGuard.
I think WireGuard's a separate thing.
Not handled by NetworkManager? Or is WireGuard's VPN, isn't it? It is.
It is, but it basically creates another interface.
Oh, sure enough. Look at this. Plugins, WireGuard. How you do it?
Yeah, it has its own wiki page.
Oh, okay. So it's about as difficult as the rest of this. All right, sweet.
Sweet, he says.
I'll need to figure it out, dude, because the only VPN that I have a phone home type VPN, and it's WireGuard.
WireGuard back to the house? Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I get a hold of everything, which is my favorite way because I don't like exposing stuff on the internet. That's scary.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
That's how all those printers got black pages printed to them.
Yeah, well, for me, I use Tailscale, which is WireGuard under the hood.
Yeah,
and so the benefit of that is I don't have to expose anything that way. It punches a hole back out, right?
Like TeamViewer style, right? Like remote style, which is really kind of cool. I like that a lot.
It's just brokered. It's like SyncThing. It's brokered somewhere in the cloud.
Yeah, and it uses rudimentarily it uses things like NAT to keep your firewall up.
Yeah, well, it'll go through carrier grade NAT.
I know, and that's my favorite. That's my absolute favorite thing. Because as long as you build up that network connection before you leave, or before, as long as you build up that network connection outbound, that's what I meant to say.
Right.
Then
it'll go through anything.
Exactly. Yeah. That's my favorite thing. I'm not behind in either of my ISPs. I'm not behind carrier grade NAT, which is fantastic. But I think that's because I live not in a massive metro area. So
right. Well, I'm not either. But obviously you are on your phone if you're out mobile someplace.
Oh, true. I bet that is carrier grade NAT, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's kind of like where that stuff originated from.
Yep. Sure enough. Ew.
Yeah, it's
All right.
gross, but hey, we can get through it.
I get it, man. One of these days, IPv6 will win. See,
Sure it will.
I wonder where the parallels are between the Wayland haters and the IPv6 haters. I bet there's a whole lot of crossover here. Because
No, I feel like IPv6 has gone longer. I feel like maybe I don't know
late 90s.
which one. Yeah, which one is longer now?
Well,
That's a
people
good
have been
question.
saying Wayland for 15 years, so I suppose Wayland is younger. But it's the same kind of person saying that, right? It's got to be. It's taken so long, you might as well just abandon it. And then carrier grade NAT exists, and it's like, oh man, I guess you can actually abandon IPv6, but don't. It's so cool. Just like, I mean,
Well, we're gonna run out.
we've already run out. We've run out multiple times over.
Yeah,
and
I know,
then-
but I mean, just like eventually we're gonna run out of the run out, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've already done it. I think we've opened up back in the day when we had Classful going on, the Class D&Es, we've already opened them up. And
Right. But I've just meant like the people that are sitting on, Bs
HP.
or whatever, CCs and
Yeah.
stuff. Like they're like, even if we start doling those out, one to everything, right? Eventually you're gonna run out of those too.
Yep.
See, it's gonna get crazy.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like what is who is it? Not Apnic. Who's ours? Aaron? Is it Aaron?
Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah. So what's Aaron gonna do? Just be like, all right, HP, you've held these long enough. You're not even using them. I'm gonna take them now.
We're gonna put more NAT in front of it.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know, man. Like HP is a company that will never have to go under because they could just sell their IPs for billions of dollars.
ISP space.
Yeah, dude.
Right.
Like they have way too much IP. They were one of the first. They were one of like the first dozen companies to gobble up an entire A. And so these guys, what is that, like no, it's not 65,000. It's 4 million. 4 million IP addresses, something like that. What is yeah. It's like 4 million, man. And these are 65,000. Like it's crazy, dude. Like give me a C. Let me just have a little C and that'd be cool. Just like a little.
I won't say anything about the one I control.
I was gonna say. I mean, I used to work at the IT in the IT department for the place that I work, and it's the same way. The colleges were very, they were very
early adopters.
Yeah, we're very liberal. Aaron was liberal with colleges in the IP addressing space that they were given. I do think my college sits on at least one A, at least one, and. That's a lot. That's a lot of IPs, man, and I know we're not using near that much, man.
No,
shoot.
Ours isn't that big, but it's still pretty big.
Yeah, I think like the cloud providers offer up most of the IP address space that we're using anymore. So we're renting stuff when we don't even have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my college, I think, for a few years, and when I say a few, I mean like 20, was selling IP address space to AT&T. So, I mean, they had enough. They had enough to like push stuff around, and they had weight. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. So BGT says he hates his router because now he can't access his machines by host name.
So what you got to do?
That would be annoying. So like what I did was I got the Pi hole.
Yeah, you turn off DHCP on your router and turn on DHCP on like a Pi hole or something like that, and then
at least DNS.
Yep, and then run yourself some DNS. And then put all your host names there, which, I mean, it's a bit of a slog to do, but yeah, I made
the added bonus is you get some blocking of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can, malware and stuff you don't want to go to.
Yep. What up, Steve? See you sneak in here. I knew you couldn't resist the Gentoo.
Nope, he loves Gentoo.
I know it. All right, plug.
He'll be doing that on the next Saturday or Sunday morning coffee clutch. Well, not coffee clutch anymore. It's the Steve's very own live.
Yeah, man. If I could wake up that early.
The SOL stream.
Yeah. If I could wake up that early, man, you better believe I'd be there. But 8 o'clock is too early on a weekend, man.
Yeah, I mean they should propagate through. Like it should get registered, like you say, to your router. As far as DNS names, but some routers do funky things, and if it's your ISP's router,
you can't even touch most of that.
Yeah, right. All bets are off what it's doing.
Yeah.
If it's your own router, you might be able to put some staticky things in there if you had to.
Yeah, even the Dookie Linksys and Netgears would still allow you to do, some of them would still allow you to do manual resolution there on the router. But yep, an ISP router. So
Yeah.
you need something
Dang
that lives
ISP.
next to the router. If you got a Raspberry Pi, it's a good idea, but yeah, it'll do some of that work for you.
Yeah. So Steve's own live SOL stream last Sunday was SOL, or at least it started that way.
Wait, what does that mean? I didn't catch the last one.
I mean, it might have got a little off the rails or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No,
But
no, that
it was typical Steve. He brings it all back. He's good.
those are, well,
I
I
thought it was a
mean,
good stream. I don't know what he's talking
Steve's
about.
not a Linux streamer anymore. That's
That's
a
true.
fact.
Although he does it from Linux just the same.
Yeah, I'm surprised Steve hasn't just immediately snapped up a Mac. That's silly, Steve. Come on.
Yeah, you think so? Like, I don't know. That doesn't seem like his style.
Until he uses one,
Maybe.
maybe. All right, what do we got to do? So NetworkManager uses plugdev to specify which non-root users can manage system network connections. That's me. I want that to be me. Okay, so I need, and I never use G password. That's cool. I would always use usermod AG, right?
Oh,
But-
yeah. I've never used gpassword. I didn't know that was. I mean, I guess whatever, right?
I mean, it works. I learned about the euse command just a little while ago. So pug, not plug. Plug. Dev. Yay! That's really cool. Because of course there would be a
little
G
shorter
password.
syntax. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have to like accidentally leave the G lowercase and nuke my entire group association list. Whoops. Or forget the A. Do me every time. Yeah, GPASSWD, man, and then you do a -A, the user, and then the group, and just amazing.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, right. It's always about uppercase, lowercase, all that jazz.
Get a MacBook Air, Steve. Those are cheaper than
challenge.
That's cheaper than even a framework. You you spend more money on a framework.
Yeah,
than,
you can get an Air for like $900, $900. Yeah,
get a
it's
Mac Mini. You stream from
Oh,
the same
you
place
could get a
every
Mac
day.
Mini. That's true.
Mac Mini
That's
for
true.
$600. It'll do you streams. They are pretty cool. They're pretty cool devices. They have a long battery life for the other stuff. They do a lot. They punch above their weight class. That is for sure. For the amount of money that you're paying for them, they punch above their weight class, which I think is why Marcan and that whole Asahi group is doing what they do, because it's just really cool hardware to run Linux on. Yeah, exactly. Saigoneer's got it. You just go put Linux on it, man, and then you can have the best of both worlds. All right.
That's true. It's true. That could be cool.
All right, System D. Okay, all I got to do is start it. No joke. So should I unmerge DHCPCD at this point?
Or is it running? Is the service running?
I don't think it's a service, is it? It's just something that is called?
I thought it was.
Maybe it is. Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, so you might want to stop that service. I think that's the advisement that you get.
Okay, so I'll stop the service. I'll
stop. Yeah, stop
I'll
the
mask
service
it.
and then start the Network Manager one and cross your fingers.
Okay, so all right, so here's the thing. If for the next 50 minutes we have to do a stream not on Gentoo, I'm sorry. Because
I think there's other things we can probably talk about, Leo. It's okay.
we can just talk about it. But I'm gonna stop this service, and if it takes, it should not take the IP address with it, right? Like it's not, DHCPCD running should not be contingent on me keeping the IP address that I already have. Network Manager may break it when I start it, but it should get the same IP address because it's the same MAC address. I have it statically assigned the MAC address to the IP address, so it should just come back even if it kills me. But we'll see. Okay, you'll just have to convince me to go over there and run manual commands, I guess, because it's a room over, and I want to walk over there. but I will if you ask nice, I guess. All right, so here we go. Disable. Oh no. Let's just stop it first. DHCP CD service system. Well, let me. The last time I did this, something wasn't there. Network. See what I mean?
Say what now?
Where is that? Oh wait, capital? No. Network Manager, right there. Okay, so yeah, right there. That's that. Is it capital? Is that why? Oh, it is.
It sort of looks that way, yeah.
Sure enough. Okay. All right. Okay. So that's there. I'll start it. So system control stop, not two T's. Stop. DHCP CD service. All right. Here we go. Okay, guys. This is moment of truth. Moment of truth. Here we go.
Fingers are crossed, just for the reference. Yeah.
Hey, look, I get to do that, and it actually means something in this case. Does it give me a new prompt? Therefore, we're still connected.
Yeah, you're still connected. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so disable, and then
yeah, losing all connections. Yeah.
mask. All right, so it cannot turn back on. Great. I'll leave it in there. Actually, you know what? That's actually pretty smart. I think leaving that in there.
Oh, I think that's fine.
Yeah, masking it.
You just can't have them running at the same time. Is all it tells you.
Okay, so here we go. This may actually kill me.
Anything's possible.
This one might be the one that actually does it. So if I start, so that's all I got to do, and then enable it afterward. Oh, how do you do that? It's dash now, right?
Now, yeah, enable now. Yeah.
Okay, so I could do that in one shot. I kind of like doing that. Oh, hey, this is that thing we were looking at in at least for me in Ubuntu.
Yeah.
The
Enable
network wait
now,
thingamajig. Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice, BGT. I appreciate that. Yeah, capital N. Why? Why? What a weird way to do that.
I don't know. Case matters, I guess.
Well, yeah, I can understand that, but why? Why would you make it such a weird thing to do? Okay, but here we go.
It gives it a level of importance.
Yeah. You know, the guy that wrote this particular target or service or whatever it is probably thought the exact same thing. It's like, yeah, it's special. Capitalize it. Here we go. Good luck to me.
Go.
Huh? Okay.
Yep. No flames.
Symlink, multi-user target wants it. Great. Okay.
To be able to, IPA and see what you got there, huh?
It did the network wait online thingamajig for me.
Yeah, you're all set.
I guess
Like
I'll
it didn't
run
change
it
anything.
just to be sure, but I think it did it. It looks like it did it. We'll see if this does anything.
So BGD, I think maybe they had the screen reader in mind when they had that, case matters.
Oh, that's
cool if that's the case, but no pun intended.
So,
but I don't know. Did they?
That goes to how I deal with Mastodon and Twitter a while ago, because it's hashtags, right? Like multi-word hashtags were just absolutely unintelligible to a sighted person when you don't capitalize each letter. Kind of camelcation or whatever.
It's just a huge run-on, yeah.
Yeah, so I started doing that a long time ago, and then accessibility folks came along and were like, hey, if you want screen readers to be able to read this, you capitalize every word. And I'm like, brother, I'm already doing it, because not even sighted people can tell the difference between a word on something like that.
Yeah, especially when you put 2 or 3 of them together, right?
Oh my God. And yeah, and when Twitter was young, people would do these stupidly long hashtags. I mean, and I get it. It needs to be unique. Yeah. And no one knew what any of that was. And if you weren't careful, you're saying really dumb stuff. So capitalization matters.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, let me do this one. What was that? All right.
I think it's just,
Enabling this service extends the boot time even when no services that need to wait for network connections exist. Yeah, so I enabled it. So it was already enabled. So I think Gentoo already does it for me, or at least the default. Enabling Network Manager already handles that part for me, so I didn't do anything.
Well, I think, yeah, you got the service going now. Yeah.
All right, so this is for future Leo. When writing custom systemd services, they can wait for NetworkManager to configure the boot time connections, which is actually pretty smart. That's pretty cool. So like, you bringing up Apache or something like that, you want to bring it up before network's up. Cool. All right. Oh, hey, look.
Hey, look, what am I looking at?
DH client, if NetworkManager was built with DH client, it wasn't. The host name can be set using the following command. I wonder, Larry, if this is what you ran into. Send host name, custom host name. Is that what you had to do to fix that? I wonder. Yeah, BGT. It's because I made that post about 666 kernel and the of the beast right here. Yeah, that's what it was. Someone told me to grow up.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, on Twitter. Someone told me to grow up. And I'm like, my God, man, I just like metal music. What's your deal? And he never said anything back. Because I just posted back, why? I felt like that was apropos.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, it's all about context.
I'm gonna say no to whatever he says after that. But okay, so see what you did, Larry, was you did things right. Okay, you added use flags that are required, and I didn't because sometimes I just don't read.
YOLO. Yeah, just YOLO.
Exactly. YOLO that whole entire thing. And I compiled DHCPCD. Oh, wait. No, okay. So you use DH client, not DHCPCD. Maybe that was my thing. I got around it by using the simplest solution. Yeah, it kind of is, man. EWO. I need to know what EWO stands for. I feel like that's got to be a gamer thing, right? It's got to be. But how's it going? I think NetworkManager is good, but I saw something about Wi-Fi up there.
Wi-Fi's good.
So it should just be handled, right? Like it should just know.
I don't know. I mean, you got the what's it telling you? You got for addresses and stuff.
Hey, how come Wi-Fi is not even showing up?
Probably because you need to add that.
What do you mean add it?
I don't know. What's so BGT says run NM2E.
Oh, really? NMTY.
Yeah, maybe it might not be connected, right?
Oh, activated connection, maybe.
Right.
No, that's obviously not it.
No. Oh yeah, no.
Wait, hold on. Why? Hold on. Do I have to compile? Do I have to recompile the whole system with like Wi-Fi use flag or something?
Well, that could be.
Hold on. Set system.
I don't know. Let's read
the
the docs. Let's get back to the docs.
No,
what's the docs say?
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. I'm getting ahead of myself. How to stop Grub from ever breaking again? That's how I know you're just in here trolling, because there's no way. There's no way you can stop Grub from breaking. Grub will always break.
Yes, you can. Don't use Grub. That's how you stop it.
System deboot.
Yeah, just system deboot, or just like if it's EFI, just boot directly into the thing.
All right, hold on. I want to make sure.
Refind. That's an option. You could use refind.
Okay. Okay. So BGT says activated connection. Then you should see your Wi-Fi interface. I do not. I see wired connection 1, end of list. That is it. I do not see Wi-Fi, and I'm pretty sure it's an Intel Wi-Fi card. Let me see. So I've got no. Quit this.
All right. So there's a little bit of troubleshooting down here at the bottom. So it says Wi-Fi card and firmware are correctly loaded, but interface is not available in NetworkManager.
Where do you see this?
Oh, it's down on the bottom of this page.
This page is
let's.
huge. Oh, here we go. Okay. dmessage.
So if dmessage grep Wi-Fi shows the kernel and the firmware of the network card has been properly loaded.
Hold up. Failed with error. What does that mean? No suitable firmware found. What does that mean?
That means you got a different problem.
No, it probably just means that I need to load firmware, because I didn't load any firmware.
Right.
For any of that.
Right. And that, means it's not built in.
7265D, so it knows which firmware I need, sounds like.
So now we got to figure out how to get the firmware for your Wi-Fi card.
Okay, how do you do that? That's early on in the handbook. I remember zooming past that, so I need to bring that in. Hold on.
Yep.
So, what is the name of that thing? Hold on.
Wi-Fi.
It's a network manager thing. Oh no, I don't have that. LSHW.
Oh yeah, LS show hardware.
Yeah. Oh crap. How do I
Well, there's
is it just LSHW?
So if you go to the Wi-Fi page, yes, essentially there is a grep command here with little Perl magic to
Sysapps.
kind of give you some info.
What was it? Sysapps LSHW. Sorry, hang on. I'm going off the beaten path here. I want this application.
You do?
LSHW. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, no, you'll need it for this.
Oh, really? Good. All right. So I'm already doing the right thing, and I didn't even know I was doing the right thing. I just have good taste in hardware, I think, or software. Is the
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Driver not present with kernel. Yeah, BGT called it. Cool themes for system deboot in that case. Ooh, that's actually a good question. I don't know. But I kind of feel like I'm going to end up in a situation where I would need to know that. Because, I mean, Gentoo is about customization, right? So I might as well have a custom boot splash as we as I boot up.
I mean, yeah, I guess your Plymouth screen or whatever. I don't know what they call it in Gentoo.
Okay, let's see. Oh, well, I'll run BGT's thing, LSPCI, yeah. grep wireless, not maybe Wi-Fi? No? Nothing. What do we got?
What'd you do?
Oh, I don't have it. Oh, command not found. I'm just an idiot and didn't read the output. So let's do LSHW. Oh, I should have done short. Oh, it's just one dash. LSHW.
I gave you a command. I gave you a command in our team chat.
Uh-oh. Hang on. I'll get there, I promise.
But it'll just save you searching all that.
Yeah, you're right. Team chat. Oh, good God.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. See, I shouldn't copy and paste
It's got a little
commands from the internet.
It's got a little Perl magic to kind of regex some things.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. All right, what do we got?
I don't know. Hold on. We're looking for any kind of Wi-Fi. That's sound. I don't see anything.
I don't see anything that says Wi-Fi.
No, me neither.
That's not good.
Hub, something. Well, because it's not. There's no firmware, so maybe LSH. So when I did the LSHW short, this is what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, so you need LSPCI.
Okay, so I need to bring in LSPCI. Got it. And that would make sense, right? Because the Ethernet thing shows up because there's a driver for it. So it did not occur to me that LSHW wouldn't show something if there was no driver for it. But that makes sense now, thinking about it. Because it really is just not there. Okay. Okay, so we need to bring LSPCI. How do you get that? It's probably under sysapps too?
Sure? Sysapps. I bet it's a sysapp, yeah.
I'm sure it is. No. LS.
Nope.
PCI. No, it just doesn't show up. It's with a bunch of other packages. There's a meta package to get it, I'm sure. Oh, really? All I just need is the Linux firmware? That's all I need?
Yeah, probably good likelihood. Maybe. I don't know.
But this is going to bug me.
I would have thought you would have already had it for other things, but maybe not.
Well, I don't think I put it. I don't think I brought it in. Not on this install. I brought it in on the other install, but not this one. Because I was like, well, that's just in the kernel. Well, apparently it's not. Well, we'll find out if it is in the kernel, or I mean, if I did install it.
That's fair.
Obviously did not. Okay. Cool. All right. Would you like to merge these packages? Yes, probably. Hang on.
I think we would, yeah.
LSPCI though, what's up with that? Gentoo LSPCI.
I don't know. I'd have to look in the packages thingy.
Well, that's what
Maybe
I'm doing.
EIX could help me.
PCI utils is what it's called.
Oh, all right, that makes sense.
There it is. Emerge, blah blah blah. PCI utils. Let me do that one first. Actually, just you know, just for funsies. Let's bring that in. Who is that? Who's invading my domain?
It's Adam. He's coming to troll.
Oh,
What's
good.
good,
No.
guys?
Hey.
Troll me? Perish the thought.
A
Yeah.
lot of
what-
trolls in Paris or what?
Paris, Texas, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, a little southeast of me, but
Close-ish.
all right. LSPCI.
Yeah, no, we're just Gentooing our
Got it.
way through.
Network controller. There it is. 7265. It did know. It did know the firmware I needed. 7265. There it is. Okay, so previous command. Linux firmware. Got it. Let's bring that in. So, Adam, quick update. I don't have Wi-Fi because I don't have Intel firmware because I forgot to do that a while ago. Whoops.
Oopsie.
So we're getting that now. A little bit to do. Oh, hey, look at that. That was fast.
Were you
You should
missing a
just-
use flag or something? Or?
No, just didn't install.
Yeah. That was one in the handbook. It's like, you should install firmware. And I was like, maybe later. And, well, later is now. So here we go.
What do you know, people who made the distro?
Yeah, exactly. Don't tell me what to do.
Well, I mean, you were going minimal, right? You didn't want to install anything you didn't need.
You know what?
And
You know what?
You haven't needed it until now, so now's the time.
There's
you know
nothing
what?
more minimal than no.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm
He
just
hasn't
going to
needed it though. It worked. Everything
right.
worked except for Wi-Fi, so it's been great.
I'm gonna go with what you said, Dan.
See, I'll help you out, buddy. I'm here for you.
I appreciate you. You've saved
Dan's
me
got your
again.
back.
That's right.
All right. Well, now I have
No, that-
LSHW and LSPCI, so I'm happy about that. And
What
all
else
of
do you
this-
need?
I guess, right? It would have helped.
I mean, you got it plugged in. You're good.
Yeah, but look at all that firmware that's getting loaded up that I don't need. Look at it. Bloat. If there was ever any bloat on a system, it's this one.
Yeah, no, it's splatting a whole bunch of
Look
stuff
at that.
down for you.
Cirrus? I mean, Cirrus, are you serious? There was so much. Look at this. Cirrus 35L41. What even is that? I don't want that. Gonna have to go through all of my
Sound chips. I think they're all sound chips.
Yeah, well, I don't have no Cirrus sound card, so I don't know why that's going on, man.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to get one now.
Apparently. Okay, so am I gonna have to reboot for it to load up firmware on boot, or is there a command that I can just be like, hey, go look for things?
That's an excellent question.
Can you not mod probe the thing?
Oh, I might be able to. Oh, hey, can you just like mod probe A or whatever and just reload all the
Yeah, I think
interfaces?
So.
Ooh, let's hope that doesn't break anything.
Yeah, it will. Don't worry. Hey, but assuming the firmware's all good, then it should just come right back up, even if it boots me out, right? So yeah, see, I haven't dealt with modules since I had like this old Realtek card long time ago. I don't play with this anymore. I'm just like, no, buy hardware that works, and yeah, that's been
think
my
the,
motto ever since.
I think the module is like IWL Wi-Fi.
That sounds right. So let me see. Is it just mod probe that?
I think it's mod probe -A and then that.
So -A is all. Consider every non-argument to be a module name to be inserted. Oh, that makes sense. Mod probe A. It will Wi-Fi. Let's see. Nothing.
Well, nothing might be good.
Well, I mean, nothing means that it didn't break. That's for sure. Hold on. Anything? Just let me check chat real quick. Oh. WPA supplicant. We're going to find out if I need that in just a minute. But for right now, I think system deboot will scale. I don't think it'll scale, actually. So I think you just need like a 4K thing. I've got a 2.5K thing, screen, something or another. So I could, using a bigger image would probably be better. But system deboot seems like it's modern enough that it might actually do that.
Yeah, there's probably a way.
Let me see. How do I just reload all modules? Will that just blow everything up?
Probably. That's cool. You know how you do it? Reboot.
What? Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, should I do that? I guess
I
I
don't
Ain't
know.
Wrong.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a good or bad idea, but yeah, no, it's a thing.
I
Okay.
don't think it could hurt.
Well, if I can't ever log back in, I'll have to get up, and getting up will hurt. Here we go, everybody.
You can blame me in that case.
All right. Okay. Here it goes. Ryan's fault. Saigoneer said it too, so you get to split the blame with. Oh my God, BGT had the answer. You could do a systemd soft boot. See.
Yeah. Okay.
You people.
We should have. Yeah, we should have read the chat.
How do you ever doubt the BGT? He knows all. He knows everything.
He's pretty spot on most of the time.
Pretty sharp, man. Pretty sharp every time. All right. We'll give that a sec. There's no way it's up now, right? Oh my God, that was fast.
Well, the fact that you can find it, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, Dan, that's actually very astute because we're not even using DHCPCD anymore. We're using NetworkManager, so that proves that NetworkManager is working.
That's a step in the right direction, no? Yeah.
Oh, look at this. WLP3S0. Yeah.
All right.
Turns out
now we're not.
I'm just too dumb to use ModProbe. So reboot.
That's okay though. Like
took
that,
care
maybe
of it.
that's fine. It could have been other things you needed to reload in addition to.
Absolutely beautiful. Look at this, guys. We're done. According to what we were planning on doing today, we're successful. Adam, it's all thanks to you.
Yeah, Adam's got it. You showed up just in time to fix it all.
Bruno! Oh my God. We have to celebrate now. Bruno
That's
showed
what Bruno's
up.
here for.
Yep, Bruno showed up just in time to see me be successful at installing NetworkManager in a Gentoo, rebooting, it working, and having Wi-Fi, at least in the hardware list. That's all I needed.
Let's go.
I think...
see, Bruno brings the celebration.
Yep.
That's what we need. That's all we need to see.
Mm-hmm. Absolute beautimus. All right.
I'm also having eggnog in celebration on a 32 Celsius day.
Hold on. Hang on. I think that's hot. I'm pretty sure that's hot. Hang on.
No, it's like 80 something, maybe.
Okay. What's the humidity like?
Guessing.
Now, that's the problem. In Melbourne, we don't normally have humidity. Today, we've got it. Definitely, we've got it. I'm sweating without doing anything. Yep. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm sweating bullets. We don't normally experience this.
Well,
you're in the middle of the summer there, though.
Yeah, but our summers down in Melbourne, it's not humid. It's a very dry heat. So the weird thing at the moment, we've got very tropical weather at the moment.
That's the word of the day!
The wind was at 100 kilometers an hour the other day.
Yep.
Sorry. Anytime anybody says a dry
insight
heat,
into the future, post-apocalyptic future.
Yeah, everybody looks down on me. I'm like, it's 115 degrees today, and then somebody from up north is like, well, it's 84 and 90% humidity. That's a dry heat. And I'm like, people are literally stroking out on the streets. People are dying. It's a dry heat. No, it's not that bad. It's a dry heat. It's a dry heat every time. And I'm like, guys, it's really hot. Okay.
Yeah.
Our air conditioners are exploding. It's not normal. It's dry heat. Get out. It's getting colder. It's that same ISP, and I don't have any kind of like holdover or any kind of site-to-site VPN on those two ISPs. So swap ISPs. I'm good now. But everybody out there in the house is probably having a real bad time trying to watch Netflix or whatever.
Wait, didn't you have another ISP? Don't you have two now?
I'm on that now. I just switched, and now we're streaming again.
Just did the switch.
Yeah.
Stream.
Gotcha.
Live stream switcheroo. Yeah.
Downside,
that's
I can't.
That's the technique. That's the play.
Yeah.
Live stream switcheroo.
Yeah. Downside is that I no longer have a connection to my Gentoo box. Because that Gentoo box lives on.
That's a problem.
That network. Totally different network over here.
Well,
Gotcha.
That's so much for that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say the stream would have ended 30 minutes early if I didn't have a second ISP, but here we are, because I'm a super nerd and have to make sure I have internet at all times.
I did increase my internet I'm now at 100 down and still 20 up. Australia's shocking for upload. Let's not even go there.
Oh, don't
But
don't
at least
worry.
I'm 100 down.
No, wait a minute. That's still better than mine.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dan's suffering, I feel like.
Yeah, so I'm like 70 down and 7 up.
Oh, wow. Okay, right. Wasn't ready for that.
That's suffering territory, man.
I'm honestly, I should just flip over to my phone because I got 5G on there. So, that's pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, actually.
How much has 5G improved now? You can use it for that. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's
like
good.
I know that they shouted it, they touted it at 4G and stuff, but 5G is really that's where we can play.
Yeah, it's a little higher on the latency for some stuff, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Yeah, no, it's decent.
I think that's the way a lot of cloud services work.
Yeah, I mean that's my backup is flip over to 5G and tether.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. I spent the extra money to get tethering, which is kind of cool. Oh my God, look at that.
Neal made it. Nice.
Wow.
Welcome, Neal.
You missed it. You oh man, the cool stuff already happened, man. We did we compiled NetworkManager into Gentoo, and that was the last thing I needed to do. And I need to tell everybody this, as a matter of fact. That was the last thing that we needed to do. And Dan and I were talking before this live stream, and we thought that this was actually going to be a perfect cap to the end of the year of doing all of this Gentoo stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it. We were successful before.
Now we're just using it.
Yeah, before that network decided it wanted to explode. And I think now GNOME can take over doing Wi-Fi stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
Now we're just using the machines. It's
I meant to go back to that. BGT, you mentioned installing Pipewire and having all that going. No, we did that last stream. We did. We actually got that working, yeah. And it was because I have to admit that we were doing Gentoo, and I had a running Gentoo for like a good 2 months before I ever emerged Pipewire. But I had to go back and add in a bunch of use flags. So when I was saying that I missed a bunch of use flags earlier in the system, Pipewire was one of those use flags that I forgot to put in there. So nothing was compiled for Pipewire. There's only a couple packages that needed it. But when we tried to put in Pipewire, we ran into that issue, couple of issues, or a couple of little brick walls. But we got that all done on the stream, and then by the end of the night, I was able to go out there after the emerge finished, and I had sound. Those T450S speakers aren't great, but I did have sound.
No, they're not great, but they worked. Yeah.
That's right. And so that was last stream. This stream, we got NetworkManager on there, and now oh my God, LFS is the next step. But now,
wow. When, where, what?
Well, okay, next step, but next season of
it's gonna have
these
to
things.
Be, yeah. No, I think yeah.
And
we're in a good spot.
We were actually talking about that.
I was about.
The last stream, or one of the last couple of streams, we were talking about LFS, and then we ended up just deciding that emerge would probably be a good thing to compile on LFS, just so that you could have again Gentoo. So, you're gonna end up with a weird LFS Gentoo mishmash of a system anyway.
Yeah, you need something to do your package management.
Yeah,
right?
So I feel like all roads lead to Gentoo. I don't know how far down. Yeah,
I guess you could pick any other package manager too.
I guess so, but I mean with LFS, well, no, I guess right. I mean, because you would just need repositories to pull from if you're going to use something else, right?
Yeah, you got to write your own in Rust. Yes, absolutely, because that is the way.
Yep.
This is the way.
Yeah, how to integrate. Well, long time ago, me and Dan were talking about tongue in cheek. Do not ever anybody take this seriously. That we were going to have some kind of weird like Linux user space distro. Like that it's a cool idea.
It would have to be at that point. We'd have to patent that sucker.
Yeah, that would be really cool to have. But, I feel like it would just be like some kind of Ubuntu spin, and it would just be like sitting there next to Rebecca Black Linux and Hannah Montana Linux and the Linux user space Linux, like there wouldn't be any reason to use it.
It'd be a small crowd that used it, yeah.
Yeah.
There'd be Hannah Montana backgrounds, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. It would be me, it'd be Dan, it'd be Bruno on the weekends, and it would be BGT. Man, that would pretty much be it.
You know, maybe we should just go with
Fedora,
the new,
I'm sorry.
the new thing, and maybe we call it the Taylor Swift distro, right?
Oh my God.
That's
I think we
Swift,
could get
pretty amazing.
Swift
that would bring a
Ubuntu.
whole bunch.
Swift Ubuntu.
Yes.
I
Swift
know.
OS.
I know they put the kibosh on using Ubuntu, but you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
You want to start a war? We haven't even started with the distro yet, and
Yeah.
you're already throwing shade.
Oh, we'll get a cease and desist letter from Apple real fast. Excuse me, Swift? Absolutely not.
I think we're using that. Thank you.
Yeah. We've trademarked that 17 different ways. Absolutely not. That's pretty much how that would go. I guarantee it.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
Ta-
TOS.
oh,
That's the
TOS.
one.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
There
Yep,
you go.
That's it. That's
Yep.
the one.
Yeah,
Yep.
and then every like update command, it would have to be tay, like tay upgrade, and then tay update, and then there would be like a tay play, and then to be ultimate pirates, we would have to have like all of the Taylor Swift albums on the thing, and then tay play in the 1985 or whatever, and it would or 88 or whatever that was.
No, I think that the package manager needs to be Cardigan or something like that, right?
Oh, see.
Oh yes.
It gets you covered up. Yeah.
Man, see, I
That's
wish
good.
I think
That's
you're on
good.
something.
I wish I
Yeah,
was
this
more
could-
of a
this could
Swiftie,
work.
'cause we could just keep doing this for the last 20 minutes of the stream. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I think this could work.
All
Yep.
right.
Did you hear the passion in Dan's voice? I just this could work. He's really
Man.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I love it. So there has to be.
If you ever needed a reason to make a poster of all the Taylor Swift songs, this is it. You know how we used to have the command cheat sheets that we used to get on like PC magazines? We could just have like what the Tay equivalent is for like a writer and an application, etc., etc. Like that'd be pretty fun.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what? If you're on board with us, let's do it. Fedora remix of Taylor Swift thingy something or other. And then like most of the commands are just alias to Tay. I need this to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
It's
got to
gonna
write.
be. I feel like it has to be immutable as well. I don't know why. We can.
no.
I'm sure we can weasel it in for some reason.
Yeah. Well, we could tie it in. Like, so the reason that we do immutability is because Taylor was, they stole her music early on in her
Silence?
career, and she had to re-record it, and so her music needs to be
Yeah.
immutable.
There you go. Yep.
Yep.
You can't wipe her off the charts. I mean, she's on the top.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's nothing better.
That's it. So we
I
gotta
love it.
we gotta bring in like a Travis Kelce theme as well, because
True.
you have to.
I don't know where that ties in, but yeah, maybe something. Yeah.
I mean,
The game, the native game for the OS. Maybe let's find some open source football game, and we rename it.
Does the
Something.
Panic have a picture of Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Oh, Saigoneer says George Castro. That's
This
right.
is such a fun project.
We said the
That's
immutable
the equivalent
word.
of blue screen of death, right? Yeah. Exactly.
Oh. Well, it's got to be. It's got to
So
be like
much
a pink
BS.
screen of death at that point. We got to change it.
It has to be pink. Yes, 100%. It has
Yeah.
to be.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I'm loving this thing. I can visualize. I see where this is. Oh
This
my
could
god.
work.
We've got it going. We've got it going. BGT, I tend to agree. I'm a bit of a metalhead too, which is the whole
Yeah.
the whole 666 kernel thing, man. That was the whole reason, man.
Yeah. It's
Really.
not my genre either, but yeah, hey, I mean, I guess it's
Hey,
pretty
you do
pretty out
you.
there.
You know.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That's the deal.
I challenge anyone with a daughter who is not aware of Taylor Swift. Mine's 8. Forget it. Like I knew about her 4 years ago, at
Yep.
least.
Yep.
Yep.
And on top of that, my daughter's teacher is a Swiftie, so there's just even more. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, children, let's do our worksheets, and then puts on Taylor Swift, and it's like, oh god,
Yeah.
she's bringing it
Well,
home
you can't
now.
teach religion.
I do enjoy
Yeah.
T Swizzle.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
bring back so much. I've had all the sicknesses this year, and she's bringing back Taylor Swift too. So there's just no escaping anything that happens.
Oh, so she brought back the Cure as well. Okay, cool.
I wish.
Yeah. So we're gonna ride the
Oh.
wave with that. I think we could. Yeah.
I think we could too. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to do the whole thing.
So how does it work?
If
I'm curious. I'm legitimately curious how this works.
I don't know. We don't have a GitHub yet. We don't have like a repository yet to put all the ideas, and then we need to do a Kickstarter and everything. Just get some funding going on and everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, because I think we could totally do that.
All right, let's see. Yeah, so how do we integrate Travis Kelce? That's the real question.
I don't know where he ties in.
That was the one thing that nobody was able to go with. You know, we ran with everything else, but Travis Kelce we couldn't do. But there's gonna have to be something.
I mean, can't that be a service pack
app.
update?
System settings? I was thinking system monitor.
Well, he's
watching over.
Isn't he a quarterback? He's a quarterback, right? So that makes sense.
He's a tight end.
Oh, okay. I don't watch. I'm sorry, I don't watch football. Man.
Yeah.
I didn't know you felt that way about the guy, Dan. Wow.
Given her history, shouldn't /TMP be renamed for him?
Hey,
maybe
there we
because
go.
he might not last, right? Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep. So, I mean, she's Times Person of the Year too. So now's the time to do
Make him
this.
the label for the swap partition.
There you go.
That would kind of be fun. So there you go. We got to do it.
Oh my god, I love the swap partition because it can be replaced. Oh my god, please. It's the swap partition label name.
Make this
That's
happen.
that's exactly what needs to be. Oh my god.
Yep.
And you have to be able to see it. So in your drives, it has to come up. You have to be able to see it. And then in an update, we update the label if and when.
Yep.
Hey, look at that.
I'm in.
Disc Destroyer. Instead of Disc Destroyer, we use TK for Travis Kelce.
Yeah, just
That's
copy him over. Yeah.
Just right up the middle, man.
I'm
Right
not sure
up
the disc is what he's destroying, but
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, so Larry says use the Chiefs colors. I think that's not a bad that's not bad. Those are bad colors. I don't know how that'd work out, but
I mean that was a nice that was the color theme for her Red album.
yeah.
Oh, wait.
I mean, so
man, you guys
red-
know way
red
more
and
about
gold.
Taylor Swift than I do.
I was gonna say someone's got the info.
Hang
I
on.
got you. I love my T-Swizzle.
There is a
There we go.
There is a Red album. Look at this though, but it's very washed out. Like I forget the name of that filter or whatever, but it's very washed out, and I like that.
sepia or something. Yeah.
You'd have to see the
Yeah,
liner
yeah.
notes.
Oh, okay. Where do I find that?
Oh, this could work, guys. I think we're onto something, really.
Hey, wait. I
sure.
have a feeling that like if there was like a kind of a red heavy Cat Pachin theme, that's like that's the terminal
there you
theme.
go.
Yeah.
Oh, you got my attention.
I know.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw Dan immediately. Yeah.
And now Steve joins. That's it. It's all
I know.
on. The whole troop is here.
it. Steve knows. Yeah, he knows what's popular.
100%. So Steve, you're into Taylor Swift, right?
Yeah, sure.
He bought tickets. He bought 2 sets of tickets. Is what he bought.
I guarantee it.
Leo did?
No, you did.
I was talking about you, mate.
Yeah. Hold on. Sudo show Linux user space collab build memetic Fedora. Yeah. Yes. I'm in.
I think so.
Let's do
I
it.
think so. This
I'm
could
in.
work.
Love it. I mean, it's going to have to now. We've come this far.
Hang on.
Oh, I know.
How do I fix this? Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
cool.
Look at
Hold
that.
on.
There it
you're
is.
gonna get us a
good color
copyright
scheme,
strike,
yeah.
but let's look inside of there.
Oh, this isn't a copyright strike. It's not like you're playing the music.
We're not playing it.
Adam, play it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah, so like
What's with the shade, Leo?
It's
Yeah.
very like you know,
Leo is not head of PR. Let's just make a rule. That's
it's red and white. It's red and white. You know.
Yeah, no, really. This is why I would never be a good CEO. I would never be a good anything other than the guy that does things wrong every time.
I mean, I think it's too bad. You already are.
I already am. Well, I mean, to my credit, we haven't fully blown up Gentoo yet. So, I mean, you know,
There's still time.
there's time. There's time.
I feel no.
100% installed about a month ago.
We've gone
Oh,
through all the stuff.
it.
Like, we just installed NetworkManager today. It did not explode after reboots and after disabling DHCP/CD, and like we went through. Today was scary. Today was a scary Gentoo day, and we didn't explode it. And
No, it was very smooth.
I'm hype. I'm super hype on Gentoo right now because all I got to do for a little while is just emerge the system.
Yeah, no, now you're just using. Yeah, now
Yes.
you're using it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, oh yeah, we got the whole saloon on here now. Let me see if I can get that centered on here. There we go. Man, very cool. So Taylor's what did we say? Taylor's Swifty
iOS.
TOS. It's gonna be a Fedora remix.
iOS.
We're
Yeah.
collabing with the Pseudo Show, and I think we got it all figured out. Steve, you're head of PR apparently.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
You're gonna be doing our
Okay.
stuff. Bruno,
Hello.
you're head of
Hey, Neal.
socials. All the anything to
I had to pop
Everything.
in.
Just
I-
everything.
just
Yeah.
whatever you feel like. This is why I wouldn't be a good CEO, man. I'm just like, you look like a good guy to send tweets. Yeah, you're cool.
You wake up, it's a Tuesday, do what you want. Yeah,
That's right.
Sounds great. Whatever you think, you do you, mate.
And
You do you.
Ryan's
The
just
best way- The best way
Ryan's
to choose a social media manager is find the least racist looking person and make them do it.
Yeah, good move.
hold on.
There
Is
you
that
Oh,
is that
boy.
Bruno? I feel like I did a good choice.
Yeah.
I think so.
I mean,
He's not American.
'cause it-
so-
What-
It's
because I'm
just
down
step in
under.
the right direction.
I can
Exactly.
call you guys all bloody things I want, mate. You won't even know what I'm talking about. Don't need
Yeah.
to worry.
Exactly. No one will even get it, so it'll be perfect. It'll be perfect.
Well, we have our own Australian translator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How good is that?
that's gonna be
Probably not very.
one of the taglines too. Is
Yeah, from
that
Sydney? You know.
we're gonna put TOS out and it will be immediately translated into Australian.
Yeah,
Be the
100%.
First big feature release right there. That's what it is.
So Neal,
We're
what do
probably going to be more.
Okay, hold on. Wait, what?
It makes sense. Trust me.
Yeah, it's all there.
It's all somewhere, that's for sure.
Yes.
But we've gone through it. We're confident. We know its success rate. It'll be fine. It'll be great.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
Hey.
Wow, we really do. We got the whole crew here.
Yeah, we do.
So meet your developer team. This is it. TOS coming soon.
We're doing it somehow, maybe. It'll be fun.
We've got the concept all laid out. That's good.
Yeah. And hey, I made a Fedora remix recently. I can make another one. It's not that
See?
hard.
All we got to do is just copy everything you just did, and then do the Rebecca Black thing, and just put some wallpapers in there, man. Just some Taylor Swift.
Well, somebody's got to come up with a logo too.
Okay, all right, I got it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with
Leo's
that.
head of art.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can do it, man. I'm just,
And you got
Yeah.
plenty of it behind you.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
it's gonna be the red hat, the hat in red of the album thing. It'll be that hat, and then we can call it
Yeah,
like
gotta veto that. Gotta veto that.
No,
You
we
gotta-
gotta-
You gotta do something that isn't going to get everyone in trouble.
okay, maroon hat. What is
Yeah.
that? Like what color is that? I don't know what color that is. Like brownish reddish.
Hang on. We're going to be
Cheyenne.
Fedora base, aren't we?
Yeah.
Mm.
If we're going to be a
Cheyenne
Fedora
is a
base, why don't we do a blue baseball cap?
Oh, we could even call it like what do you
There you
call a
go.
blue hat? We could call it like fedora or something. And
No. You
No.
cannot do that. No.
Not getting us in
Bad.
trouble with them.
Bad.
I told you guys I'd be a
Trying
bad
to pull this out,
CEO.
and he pulls us right back in.
There's legit a sentence that says no.
No.
ads.
Yeah, no.
ads.
Okay, all right, I got it. Okay, so we're gonna have
Oh,
another hat.
no. You.
That's it.
We're
All right. Hold on. If you're gonna pull this, give me a moment.
he's got a red hat.
Oh boy.
I
He's actually
know
got the
he's
real
got a
red
whole
hat.
red
Yeah, he
hat.
does.
He's bringing
Yeah, he
it. There's
does.
no way he's not bringing that.
Oh no.
This is
What if we got a gecko a hat in the shape of a gecko.
Yeah,
And that
would be
was red.
good. We
Isn't
just-
that, you know, sharing the love?
We just bring in the other hat. We've got all the hats. We're good to go.
There we go.
We're gonna have to go to a bit of a green theme though, so it kind of puts a damper in the art. We'll have to reassess.
Can we make it pointy, like an arch?
Maybe. I think we can do
hat?
it.
It's a hat of a pyramid with a gecko stuck in the pyramid.
There you go.
That's got a red bill, but it's see-through pyramid.
We've got
Yeah,
it figured
no.
out.
It's like that's a thing. Yeah.
You know, when this distro
Yeah,
overtakes
we're
every other
throwing ideas
distro,
around.
We're going right to the top of distro. That's the
There
end
you
of this.
go.
This,
Yeah.
this is it.
there's no way. There's
Straight
no
up.
way we can't win. This is it. Oh, here it is.
All right.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, good go.
There it is.
I hate
No.
this thing because it's actually super uncomfortable to wear, but
Sure.
do
Your
have
smile on
one.
your face tells us otherwise, mate.
oh no, I'm smiling because this whole situation's absolutely ludicrous.
Yes,
but
it
this
is.
Yeah.
But this is actually a really uncomfortable setup right
Oh.
now. I am holding the headphones because there's nowhere to have them sit,
Yeah.
and this hat is actually tight on my head and scratches the top of my head. So it's
Oh,
like actually
yeah.
like legit uncomfortable.
Well,
But-
That's why we went Fedora. Yeah.
The cooler it is.
Because Fedora is legit uncomfortable.
But no,
Well, someone had to
this is-
say it.
This hat is special because I got it for being a Red Hat employee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got this for ordering it before the store shut down.
Oh yeah, no, but like,
I know. Yeah.
I'm not nearly as cool.
but no, this hat it's cool to have it and I'll treasure it, but I hate wearing it. Because
that's fair.
it is they don't give it in different sizes. It's a one size fits all.
Really?
And yeah. So apparently older versions of this hat so at one point Red Hat was apparently the largest purchaser of red fedoras worldwide. That was funny.
Huh.
Who would have thought that? Yeah.
Another
But,
episode, Dan. Write that down.
Back in the day, apparently, so I've heard the lore from older employees. Back in the day, they actually would actually go through the effort of getting your head size and get a fitted hat for you.
Wow.
Now, that sounds very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so those hats are apparently way more comfortable in higher quality fabric.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
And when they brought you on
This-
board, they were just like, here's a hat. Enjoy it.
Yeah, pretty much. The hat is nice and cool and whatever, but like it is not a hat I would wear.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like you need to buy the styrofoam face, the head, and then put that on it, and then stick that in the background
Yeah, we want
somewhere.
Daddy Shadow Man as my face. Yes.
Oh my
that's what we
God!
want.
Yes. Rip Shadow Man. Oh man,
Yeah. Shadow Man was cool.
he was my favorite. I mean, he kind of embodied the whole. I mean, if you were cool with Red Hat,
I mean,
at the
he's
time.
right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, because that is not exactly a box copy of the first version of Red Hat Linux I ever used, but it's close. Like my first copy of Red Hat Linux was 6.2. I think that's 7.0 over there and back.
Okay.
Wow.
But getting a copy of Red Hat Linux that old is actually really, really hard.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is the closest I got. And that's
I
sealed, by the way. It is not opened.
wow.
Oh, nice.
I tell everybody I know, if you ever see a red hat, you just beeline to that and figure it out, and then send me a picture of what it is, and I'll tell you if you need to buy it or not. Yeah. Not yet. All I have is a cool Red Hat book. Version 4. This is the coolest thing I have Red Hat wise. Version 4. It's old, and I treasure it.
My uncle's got Red Hat 7.1, I think, and that's both the book and inbox.
Wow. I wish I had a
Yeah.
Mandrake from maybe 2000, maybe
I
1999.
used to. Yeah, Mandrake was the best.
I
Oh,
wish
so
I
good.
had kept it. Oh, that looks so
Here we
good.
go.
Shadow
Oh,
Man.
there we go.
Yeah.
That's
See,
real
it's
Shadow
still
Man.
got the stupid store sticker, but it's super faded now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not the
That's
important
cool.
bit.
Nope, the important bit is that it came with Netscape.
Oh,
It's
yes.
got KDE. I see the big KDE
Oh,
thing there
that's
too.
the old
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
Oh, good old Netscape.
Yep.
Yep.
That's got some
Includes
good
Netscape
stuff.
Communicator, KDE, and GNOME.
Man, that was
The
that was
logo
something.
for Netscape was always good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Somebody called us
Always
out.
had great
28-bit encryption. That was the hotness back then.
16 whole bits.
Woo! Yep.
USB was a highlight on this thing.
That was
Well,
a highlight
that
because that
was-
was hard back
Oh,
then.
That
yeah,
was one of the
back then,
things.
yeah.
GNOME was just implementing plug and play USB stuff around that time. And
Yep.
that was something that we got called out on. We were somebody said, y'all didn't even go over the logos in the history episode. And I'm like, yeah, I know. We didn't have any time.
There's
a lot going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing, like 60-day free trial to Red Hat Network.
I know
Oh.
that was good stuff. That was the stuff.
That
The
was what
RHN.
caused Red Hat to lose all of its money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Because-
Wow.
Ubuntu did the same thing. They had the Ubuntu 1 stuff, and they lost their shirt on that.
Oh yeah.
closed
Nobody
that
made
down.
money on these things.
Nope.
Reportedly, I think I've heard this from enough Red Hatters that I'm pretty sure that this is true. Each box copy that they sold lost them tons of money.
Ooh.
That makes sense.
Every single copy they sold was a loss because it cost them an arm and a leg to get them in the store shelves in the first place.
Right.
And they had to so all of it had to be, they had to buy the shelf space and then they would get the money back as sales happened. Not enough sales ever happened. So
I believe
these
it.
things,
Yep.
these things, if you have one of them, treasure them because ain't no one's gonna like make one of these again.
I
Yeah.
guarantee
When
it. I'm like the only guy that ever bought that Mandrake box. There were probably like 100 in the store, and I'm the only one that ever bought one.
Yeah.
My local Staples at the time had a SUSE Linux in the $5 bin.
Oh,
Oh
like-
wow.
Oh.
that would be so cool. You bought it right.
Yeah. No, I didn't because my dad wouldn't let me buy anything.
Ah.
I was a
Man.
kid back then.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I was pretty
Classic.
young when I got that Mandrake box, but it was so cool. I wonder if I'm gonna have to go through my dad's things. I need to figure out whether or not that box still exists. I have a feeling he never threw anything away. I have a feeling it still exists. So
It's still
maybe
around
one of these
somewhere, yeah.
days it might show up.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Like,
all the packaging and the artwork and all the stuff that went into that wasn't cheap.
Oh no. Oh, not at all.
No. I was gonna say, isn't it funny how like with that Steam, my dad wouldn't let me buy it. Like there are these things that we look back now. Now we have the ability. There we go. There's an open source one as well. Like we have the ability now to sort of buy what we want as adults.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you guys, but I find a lot of the time it's actually the stuff that I missed out on buying. The newer stuff, there's a lot less that I guess we can't see what's upcoming to know, oh, that's something I'm going to cherish for ages. But we know the stuff that's past us that we weren't able to buy because we had limitations like parents,
Yep.
reasonable enough, as I have to admit. And now we try to buy it. Like I remember I was going to buy a Super Nintendo a while ago. They're $300 Australian here. That's 150 US or something like that.
Wow,
Yeah.
AUD is pretty bad now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So it's so
SUSE
crazy.
SUSE still makes these.
Yes, they do.
Wait,
Yes.
can I order that?
They are you have to import them from Germany, but they are commissioned for every OpenSUSE Leap release. There is box art, and they make these. Now
Nice.
the box is in German. It is the actual stuff is in English, but the box and the book. There's a book inside.
Yeah.
Is actually in the all that's all in German, but the actual software is multilingual with English and whatever. But
Sure.
hey, you got pictures, you got logos. You even got like suggestions of how to get support.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
tuxedos on there. You can buy a
Yeah,
tuxedo with
absolutely.
OpenSUSE on it, I bet.
well, this was back when Tuxedo offered OpenSUSE on their computers.
Oh,
They don't do that anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, ever since we lost our board member that happened to be a member who happened to be the project manager for
Oh.
Tuxedo.
That helps.
So-
Yeah. That'd be
But like, it even's like a real box where it lists like, hey, this is the stuff we got on here. And
Does it,
then
got-
on the
does
other
it have
side,
system requirements?
let's see.
That's what I remember the most about the 90s is that everything had system requirements, and every time I had to be like, oh, Voodoo? No, I don't have that.
I was going to say, every time we looked at it, you saw the recommended and the minimal.
Yeah.
And I never had the minimal.
Yeah.
But I always
You know
wished
what
I had
I
the
like?
recommended.
This thing says with a free ebook and other extras. The ebook is printed. It is not an ebook anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, once it's
Well,
printed,
that's in
it ceases to be
German,
an
though.
ebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Chicken and egg.
Well, no,
They're both
no.
tasty. You
There's
know what
a
I mean? Can't we
revision-
agree?
There's a revision 3 out on the internet that you can download as the ebook. Because,
DLC.
Yeah, because they misspelled
Because
Sousa at the
DLC.
end.
Yeah.
It's a DLC.
So here's something interesting. Here it
I like
lists
that, Dan. That was
XFCE.
good.
So on top of listing GNOME and KDE, which you all expect, it also
Right.
lists XFCE.
Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Do they want people to not buy the product?
I was wondering who was going to take that.
It's not based on X forms anymore. It's cool now. It's GPL.
It hasn't been based on X forms in 25 years.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Leo, did you just say it's cool now?
It's,
And it
yeah.
spoke about a DE. Did you say it's cool now?
It's
come
cool
on.
now. It's
Got an
cool
open
desktop
license. We're good.
environment now.
I refer you back to this hat.
Yeah.
See my previous statement.
You know what? You know what? In about 10 years, we're going to be like, you know what? The height of fashion is a fedora. And if you can get them in red, and then all the red hatters are like, every time.
They wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah,
Well,
just
you
give-
know, I personally got a little sad when I saw something that I kind of felt was bad, hurt my heart at, watching some clips at reInvent, was that they started giving away cheapo versions of these, even more cheapo, if you could believe it,
Oh, no.
of these to attendees. So, like, now they, apparently, they were like hotcakes. Everyone came to the bloody Red Hat booth so that they could get one of them.
Ah.
They're a different kind, and apparently they're even more cheapo than these.
Aw.
But like, it's. I have very mixed feelings about it. Of course, when I was on the other side as a customer and a partner before I was the brief time I was an employee, I would have loved to have one of those. That would have been
Right.
great. But on the other side of the coin, it's like, but are they special now then?
Yeah, it takes some of the luster away, right?
Yeah, well, yours is higher quality, so it is a special breed, but...
That's true. It even has a ribbon for the band.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh,
As
let me
opposed
guess.
to, I think,
The one they were handing out had it like printed on the...
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I would still have gone to the Red Hat booth to have one. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It'd sit right alongside this one. But
Hey,
Yes.
I'm all about the swag. That's cool.
so what I would do is I would put it...
I have like 16 different Red Hat caps, and
Yeah.
I even have. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me go get the one that's super fun and special.
I would put the Red Hat
It's got a whole wardrobe.
the furthest away from the camera as possible so that you couldn't tell that it was a knockoff one or the one that I got at the booth. So, I mean,
Yeah, you can fake it till you make it.
yeah, exactly. Like, whoa, were you a Red Hatter? I mean, yeah. So about that Ubuntu, right?
Red Hat.
I mean,
Oh,
technically,
Installed it once. We're good.
technically, when I put it
Stolen valor right
in,
here.
put it on, I have a Red Hat on, therefore, kind of a Red Hat, right? Like, right? Yeah. And then we would just kind of ride that one. off
I
into the
think you're
sunset.
worrying about. Yeah, I think you're worrying about that a couple of layers too deep there, Leo. We appreciate you. Are you? Is everything okay?
Nope.
No. Blink twice if you need help.
Yeah.
Wait, that's too many times. I don't know.
I gotta say the swag that we get in the Linux, even though there's not a lot of it, and I don't get to go to any of the conventions because obviously I'm in Australia.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the stuff that goes around is so cool and so fun. Like that's really, you know what I mean? Like I love my 3D printing stuff too. Oh, look at that. A green Red Hat? Is there a color issue there? What's
That's
happening
wrong.
with the camera?
That is some SUSE Red Hat collaboration that never should have happened.
Ah.
I'm not
It
even
also-
sure.
Eco-friendly?
It was.
The
My
everyday person is going to correct you and like that is not a Red Hat. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're colorblind, sir.
Captain Obvious is
I
like,
know,
oh,
right?
So I got this at I think it was So it was a California one. I think it was the one with Weezer at it. So that
Oh.
was.
Y'all are
That
having
was-
too
What
much
is
fun.
Weezer and their involvement with software like Microsoft back in the day?
I
When?
legit don't know. I don't understand. But like,
Are they
let's see.
closet developers or something that we don't know about? Like, I
That's
don't know.
cool.
There
Sorry.
are actually a surprising number of them that happen to secretly be developers. It kind of weirds me out. But
Crazy.
so this one I got at, I think, Red Hat Summit 2016 from the Weezer Rave thing that was at the end of the event. Was not so much fun, the actual rave thing. It was actually kind of weird and but that's also because raves are not really my thing. Lots of people enjoyed it. I just didn't. But
You didn't get the special thing to eat before you went in. That was the
no, I
problem.
didn't. Yeah, that's
That was what happened.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
But there was a essentially a cart full of these things in pastel blue and green, though you couldn't tell that those were the colors until you took it out. And I picked up a couple of these, and then when I didn't know what color it was because again the rave lighting. Is...
Oh right, yeah.
But when I
Unless it's
left,
what Diddy did, okay.
when I left the event, and I took the hat out, I noticed it was this color, and I burst out laughing and took them.
I would too. Yeah, that goes in the tote with all the other Linux stuff that you don't display. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have shown this hat a couple of times. We've even done like when Fedora got the Fedora Twitter got the approval a few years ago to do like on April Fool's Day to talk about actually hats, which they're again legit. It's a very serious thing. You don't talk about hats.
Yeah.
It's a very legit thing. Like talking about hats is super verboten.
Really?
Yes. So they got permission to talk about hats for one day. So I took a picture of myself, put it on there, and the response from the Twitter back then was so funny because it was like, "Great hat, bad colors, bad branding, great hat."
Are bad.
Fun. Yeah.
But it was an officially produced hat that Red Hat made and gave to attendees, and they.
Yeah.
I've heard stories about that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. From what Bruno was talking about, like we live our childhood through our adulthood, right? And that was the exact reason why I spent $15 on a magazine that I only read half of, because they had a disc, like a screen printed disc of the things. And now Admin Magazine and Linux Magazine do this dual-sided thing where they don't have to actually print on one side of the CD.
Yeah, because they get to use both sides for data.
Yeah, but I don't buy them anymore because it doesn't have art on it.
Right, it's no good. Well, also
Yeah.
nobody wants to do art anymore for this
Yeah.
stuff. They don't
No,
want to.
I know. Yeah.
The presentation just doesn't matter, and it's just
They don't
like,
call me. I'll take care of it. You know
Come
what?
on.
I'll do it
The
at half
presentation-
price.
I actually like when we were doing the planning last year in Fedora for the 20th anniversary, because that was this year. I also had just gotten that box. And I was
Oh.
like, we need to have a Fedora 20th Deluxe box set thing.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And they're like, maybe.
Maybe.
And the
Just
20th
kinda
came and gone.
into
and
the
you can
ether.
guess there was, yeah.
I'd have bought it.
I was
I
very
don't-
sad.
It could have been $100.
I
I'd have
would've
bought it.
bought one.
I'd have bought one too. Yeah.
I would have bought it too, for sure. Yeah.
I mean,
And Bruno would have had to
obviously,
pay
I planted my
$200.
flag, but I certainly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what? Yeah, well, like Gentoo started as Enoch Linux in 1999. So, like, your 30th, yeah. Whoa.
30th
God.
just
Gotta write that
passed,
down
like,
for the history
earlier this
episode.
year, yeah.
Yeah. The 30th would be special, right? Like,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, what? Your next one would be the 40th in 2029.
Yep. That's too far away.
There you go.
Too far away.
That's when
Wow.
you'll get the deluxe box set of
There you
everything.
go.
Because the 20th, the 40th for the project will, I think, be the 30th for Gentoo itself as a name. Because I think they renamed themselves.
About 10 years in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna
Yeah.
find out. We're gonna do that one. We're gonna
Yeah.
do that.
It's coming up. It's going to be the last history episode of the season.
Yeah, I actually don't remember when Enoch became Gentoo, but I know that
Give me a couple of months. I'll tell you when that was.
Yeah.
Oh
right?
yeah, no,
Yeah,
it'll be great.
It'll be a good one. Yeah.
Gentoo's whole history is all kinds of fun and interesting because, and it has so many side-along influences too, like the way Arch comes from Gentoo as well.
Yep.
And there's a lot of it's a whole interesting adventure into like, well, what are distributions like when you do everything yourself?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that was a conversation that we had to have when we were talking about Arch in the first place, because Arch is the first one that really kind of, is it a distribution when you choose everything that goes into it? And I know that you can do defaults, and I know the handbook kind of leads you, or the wiki leads you in a certain direction.
Arch is actually far more opinionated than Gentoo is. So
yeah.
I would say
Oh, absolutely. No, yeah, definitely.
Totally.
Yeah, like, so one of the things that makes Arch more opinionated and probably more traditionally distro-like is the fact that it has a collection of packages itself that it chooses to support. Right? Yep. Gentoo is interesting, even among source-based distributions, in that it follows the old model of if someone contributes it's supported within the project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's actually not true for most distributions even today that are community oriented. Like,
no, that's why they have like community repositories and stuff that go alongside the main distribution.
Right. So, for example, Arch is like that. They have the AUR, they have community and extra. Well, extra and community got merged this year, but they basically have the extra repo, which is actually community oriented, and then they have the core repo, which is actually maintained by the distribution team.
Right.
And then you look at things like OpenMandriva and OpenMandriva, which has the same kind of split because they inherited it from Mandriva. On the flip side, you have distributions like Fedora and Gentoo, and to a lesser extent OpenSUSE and Magia, where all the contributors have essentially total reigns over the whole thing, and so there is no separation. And so you see that philosophical divide. And you might notice actually that it's kind of rare for newer distributions to not be set up with in a way where everyone can touch everything.
Yeah.
That's
much harder to deal with.
Yeah.
It's much harder to deal
I
with.
honestly think that that's actually mostly due to a loss of community engagement kind of things. Like if you look at how open source projects typically work today, they're mostly transactional in nature. I mean, that wasn't to say that there weren't transactional in nature projects even 20 years ago, but GitHub really popularized this idea of emotionally detached open source projects. And as a result, you don't really see community building viewed in the same vein as it was 20 years ago. And there's lots of knock-on effects for this. And I think it's also, a big part of the reason why the rise of the single maintainer project has become a thing. Because there are more projects because the friction to creating a project is so low. But the actual friction to collaborate in a project has gone up to go with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because then there's the whole GitHub workflow you have to learn, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, it's not just that. It's that the GitHub model does not require trust. Right? If you don't need trust for anything, then your whole nature of how you handle contributions, how you handle engagement in the project completely changes.
Yep,
it really does. And
like,
but that's the detachment part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like in the old days, what would happen is, you'd be doing patch reviews on a mailing list thread, or you'd be looking at an issue tracker, or you'd be submitting patches yourself and discussing with them on some kind of real-time chat or whatever.
Right.
And then over time, you'd actually be engaging with them as individuals.
Yeah.
And that changes the dynamic of how, you are perceived within a project.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, you get a bunch of flyby type
Right.
contributions.
yeah.
There are
and stuff.
basically two
Yeah.
types, right? There's the
Mhm.
engaged contributor and there's the drive-by contributor.
Mhm.
And GitHub is very much optimized around the drive-by contributor.
It is. Yep.
And because of that, you see this. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's a very different way
It's different.
of how open source engagement is quantified and qualified. Like, when I worked at 2 jobs ago, I was working as a DevOps engineer, but I also on the side was actually managing that company's open source program, including like how do we measure engagement, how do we justify further investment in open source stuff. And what I found was that like everyone kind of expected engagement to be quantified in terms of pull requests.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that's not engagement. Not
Right, because
really.
you end up with the drive-by folks in the same pot as the actual engaged folks.
Right. Right. So what you have to have is something to delineate the difference between, okay, how many pull requests are you getting? How many pull requests are you getting from the same person?
Same.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the time frame in which that they are being involved?
Right. And what's the number that they've contributed? What's
Right.
the magic cutoff that makes them a regular?
Well, you got to decide that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I
You
know
need to
that.
make that up. And I mean, that was always a problem. You always had to make up what was the
Yeah.
trusted contributor number,
Mhm.
the magic qualification that makes you like part of the project.
Right.
But it's harder now because of how people view open source, especially, again, I'm speaking as kind of like the old fogey type open sourcer person. Like when I got started, it was all about, you had to like talk to the people. You had to communicate up front before you started sending patches. You
Mhm.
had to be you had to know them. They had to
Yeah.
know you.
Yeah, and you got sponsored for a certain number, before you could move on and
Yeah.
then whatnot. Yeah, you didn't just jump right in and throw it. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot. Throwing over the wall is one of those holdovers from that era. It's like, people
Mhm.
talk about throwing over the wall type
Mhm.
contributions not being nice and
Red
great.
Hat got pointed at a lot for that.
Good, bad, or
Rightly
indifferent.
or wrongly, that wasn't
Yeah.
that comment.
But like the throwing it over the wall type contributions is the norm now, because
Yep.
what else are you supposed to do? A lot of people have talked to me and remarked that you're everywhere, Neal. Like they've said that that I'm everywhere and I'm all the places. I'm like, but I don't feel like it. I'm not really there. The thing is, like, when I go through the effort of actually doing something in a project, I don't leave. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if I took the effort to go and engage with a project, there's something meaningful to me too to do.
That's it. It's got meaning behind it. Yeah, that's the thing.
And so even if the connection is a little weak and I do just very little, I stick around.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, you're still watching it. You're still kind of seeing, the things that are going on and contributing, where needed. Yeah.
Right. And that's the kind of thing that like we don't really see a whole lot of. Now, I mean, that's not to say drive-by contributions are bad. They're fine, right? They're just not necessarily going to be a path to sustained contributors or
Right.
or higher levels of engagement. But they're not
Right.
bad either, because sometimes that's all
No.
you really need. Sometimes somebody's just got a problem, they went and fixed it, and they gifted you a patch
Right.
of their solution, and that's
Yep.
fine too.
Yep. Yep.
So don't take anything I'm saying as like, oh, everything was better in the old days and it's bad now. It's like, no. It's
Place for
different.
both.
Yeah, it's different now. I think what's happened is we've tilted too far into one direction.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, arguably in the past we tilted so far as that we had to require people to have to know each other before they would accept anything. That's a little much. That makes the barrier to entry a little bit too high. Like, there's a reason why people only really started hearing of me in any real meaningful way, like in 2015, because that climb up was real hard. And the climb up is not so hard now. But
No, it's not as hard. No.
But the expectations of continual, engagement are not there to match with it. So people don't, unless they particularly feel like they should.
Yeah.
And not a lot do. And yeah, that's
I
more
gotta
of like,
jump off, guys.
alrighty,
All right.
bye.
Take care, Steve.
Good listen to you guys. Take
Thanks,
care.
Dave.
Yeah, for sure,
Yep.
Steve. Take it easy.
Yeah, it's one of those cultural engagement, like it's a community thing, right? It's something that like when people talk about community, and I recognize that this is probably speaking from a more corporate-y kind of sense, because again, a lot of my experience is dealing with corporate projects and stuff like that. When they talk about community, they don't really talk about the people. They talk
Yeah.
about the effects of the people.
Yeah.
And that's not the same thing at all.
Mm-mm.
No.
Right? The outputs of a person are not the same as the person themselves. When Fedora talks about, Matthew Miller, the Fedora project leader, he's got this plan or something, a goal for the next 5 years to double the number of sustained contributors in Fedora. That is like the baseline number of people that contribute on a regular basis and stay involved in the project. He wants to double that, within the next 5 years. Laudable goal, going from 200 to 400 of those. Be great.
Is there a plan for that? Like, how do you retain developers? Oh, okay. So it's a goal. It's a good goal. It's a very good
It's a
goal.
great goal. But
Hey.
how do you do it?
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah. Well, hope's not a strategy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For some it
But,
is.
Yeah.
But it's particularly challenging now because the culture around contributions has changed. 10 years ago, the last time we were talking about this strategy thing, like way back when Fedora Next was being thought up and rolled out in, oh God, it actually has been 10 years ago, 2012, 2013, it was a lot easier to quantify. We were talking about how do we attract people to want to do more things within the project. This is how we got Fedora badges. This is how we got we ultimately got things like Pagger. We got the Bodhi system that allows you to like do karma for updates. This is how this is also influenced like all the other things that we were doing. There was supposed to be this Fedora Hubs thing that never happened. It's actually one of the underlying motivators for having the Fedora chat matrix system. All this other stuff that like has happened over the past decade has been rooted in that. How do you create positive feedback loops where people want to stay involved in the project and spread to more and more places?
That's the important bit.
Yeah.
Right? But how often do I hear that being talked about in really any project? I'm involved in a lot of open source projects, both distribution and software, right? Individual software projects. I don't really hear it that much. Like, I'm still tangentially connected into the Ubuntu community, and I really don't hear it all that much either.
No, but they've done the same sort of things. Like you got Karma on your Launchpad. You got
right, exactly.
They're doing all the same stuff. They
did all the same stuff because again, Ubuntu's an old project. Like, it's only a year younger than Fedora, 2004 versus 2003. So they come from the same mental model when they were building their infrastructure. But then you look at newer ones, like for example, Nixos. This is not something they think about at all.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Or Homebrew. Nope.
Like
what about, OBS Studio? No. Well, what is it? Firefox.
Oh, yeah. Mozilla stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Maybe?
There's a bit of stock
Chromium
to come from.
No.
Yeah, definitely no Chromium.
No.
Yeah.
Android?
Yeah, no.
Even less.
No.
Elementary.
They don't need our feedback because they track everything that we do and they have that information easily fed to them from every avenue and orifice of the
That's
internet.
a Google
They
thing.
already know. They don't need it.
That
They
is
already
one way
know.
to do it, yes.
Yeah.
But like, I'm listing through these projects. These are all projects that I know you guys have talked about or thought about or interacted with. But you can see that there's this dichotomy, and it all kind of starts with like, what is the culture sense that they have? You know, some of them, the culture sense is inner sourcing that just happens to be public, like AOSP, like Chromium.
Yep.
They're basically inner source projects. They're all Google. The Go language,
Golang.
the same thing. Then you got the flip side of it. You've got things like GCC and
from a very different time.
Yeah, from a very oh gosh. GCC is an example of a project that has gone from requires absolute trust to we're somewhere in the middle now to we might want to be looking towards this enabling the low friction type contribution stuff.
So it's a natural progression is what you're saying.
Well, it depends on how the culture handles it.
Yeah.
Right? Like older projects, even as they move towards this drive-by model, like, look at Fedora. Like we created the Pagure Git Forge to enable drive-by contributions, to enable pull requests. But culturally, the project is actually orienting around people being part of it, being part of a community.
Right.
The metric isn't you got Y number of commits. It's you have X number of new people. That's a big deal.
Right.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Which one is more quality?
Well, one has more longevity.
Yeah,
commit,
sustainability. Yeah, right.
Right, because a commit is a point in time. A contribution is a point in time. A contributor is forever. Hopefully.
Yep. Yeah, or at least long term anyway. Yeah. With graceful handoffs, I think that's some of the other thing, right? Yep.
It's got to be intergenerational.
It does.
Listen, Patrick Volkerding is going to live forever. All right.
He's going to have to because he's like him and Alien Bob. I mean, that's it.
There,
right?
there is no handoff there, man.
Oh my gosh, what is going to happen to Slackware when Pat gives up?
It's going to go away.
I try not to think about it. Yeah,
there's going to be there's going to be an offshoot, and that will be the new Slackware. But I don't think Slackware will exist after Pat leaves.
Alien
Bob will try, and he will duct tape it. But I don't know. I don't know if it's going to make it much
Pat basically has owned and ran Slackware since the very beginning.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was surprised when Slackware put out its release a couple of years ago.
15?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and we tested that. We ran that. It was
it was a meme my entire career that it hadn't had a release.
Yeah, it was.
And then it did.
But the other thing is, if you run current, it's like almost rolling.
Yeah.
Well, that's also like how Slackware is a lot more like a BSD than it is a Linux platform.
Right.
In terms of how it's run. But that makes sense because it was the first Linux distribution. So what did they have to work off of? The BSDs.
Yes. Yep.
So their model was the BSDs. And I mean, because you were going to model it after SLS, which didn't work very well, and everyone kind of hated it.
That's why Slackware survived and SLS didn't. Yeah.
Well, like SLS and Slackware inspired 3 distributions that we know of today. SUSE, Debian, and Red Hat.
Right.
They all came from the dissatisfaction of dealing with SLS.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, Slackware itself too, right? But it's still around, and it kind of happened at around the same time. So it's like,
and Slackware is still Slackware, that's for sure.
I mean, they adopted PAM only a few years ago. Like that was just like, oh my god, that's wild.
Oh, they just dropped Lilo, like for good.
I was gonna say they were still using Lilo.
Yeah.
Hey, but it supported EFI, man. Like it was there.
Well, Red Hat had a fork of Lilo called eLilo.
eLilo, yeah.
That's
like a over top of it. Yeah,
you could still install that in
eLilo was a thing that
but...
Red Hat and Intel made.
Yep. But yeah, they
You know, the thing
finally
I'm sad
dropped
about
it.
was that the transition from Lilo to Grub, at least in the Red Hat family, basically marked the end of fancy branding for the bootloader.
Oh yeah, kind of.
Because then they became just simple did their
Text.
did their wallpapers in Grub 1. And then when we moved to Grub 2, they're like, you know what? Screw it. No.
Yeah.
So
And
That's
that's just
much
like,
work.
we had a question earlier in the
if-
chat. Neal, maybe you know. Can you do really fancy things with system deboot and make it look pretty in boot?
no.
Oh man! So that was gonna be part of the TOS, man. We were gonna make it look
So
real.
you gotta
here's
use,
the
you have
thing.
to use like Refind or something, right?
Yeah, so you have to use Refind or
Oh,
gosh,
yeah.
what was that other one? Lumine
Great,
bootloader
though.
or whatever.
Refind is great. I have no problems with Refind. We can
Nope.
make that part of it. Why not?
We
I mean,
can make that work.
I already packaged Refind in Fedora.
Yeah.
It's already been there. So that's a thing.
Yep.
We'd have to figure out how to wire it up, but like it
Yeah,
exists.
it's not that hard. Yeah, it's not too bad. Calamari
but
can work with it, so we're cool.
Yeah, that's true. I saw somebody like throw in a Refind backend to Calamars a while ago.
Yep.
But no, like SD boot is unapologetically bare bones as someone
That makes sense. It
I
makes
get
sense.
it. I get it.
So the thought process around SD boot is that you're supposed to never ever see it.
Oh, true. That
My
makes
problem with this is that when you do see it, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then it looks bad.
But that's so Linux. That's so Linux. Our systems don't break when they're on; they only break on reboot.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
So let me
love RAM.
posit you something. What happens when you have a computer with no keyboard?
Oh
You
yeah.
have a Linux system, headless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you have SSH on, man.
Well,
Exactly.
you can't SSH because you can't run SSH.
It's not started
You
yet.
can't-
Yeah.
It's not started yet. You're at boot.
Yeah.
What happens when SD boot pops up a menu and you don't have a way to move the bloody selector?
Oh no.
What if you don't?
Yeah.
Like one of the advantages of things like Grub and Refind and Lumine and these other bootloaders that are fancier, more complicated, is that they can work in those situations.
Yeah, they can work with other interactive devices besides just a keyboard, right? Yeah.
Right. And like,
And you can do custom loading as well. I mean, Refind you can at least, which has been super helpful if you've got an all-in-one sort of system. Okay, well, I think my vote stays on Refind. I mean, you guys can do what you want, but I'm still voting for Refind on this one.
All right, that works.
let me see, where's that other bootloader? Oh yeah, Lemon, not Lemine. So there's this bootloader I found the other day that I really haven't poked at much, but it looks interesting. And it's called gosh, is there a chat here somewhere? Here we go.
Yeah.
It's called Lemine. Well, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it looks interesting, and I only found it by accident a few days ago. Or rather, refound it because apparently I'd found it before and started. And this is what happens when you're all over the internet.
Look at that.
You know, like
Planning's fantastic.
Sometimes you forget things. But yeah, like I am of the opinion that yes, you should probably not see that bootloader very often, but it also should not be a scary event when you're dropped down into it.
Should be pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that every time I drop in and something breaks.
Mm-hmm. That
like your
looks...
audio.
Yeah, it did pop up.
Yeah.
That does look pretty, Neal. That's nice looking.
Yeah. It reminds me of, I don't know, like the days when people actually themed the bootloaders back in the Lilo era.
Oh man.
Like
yeah.
So like I remember with Red Hat Linux 8, I think, if you chose Lilo and put it on a boot floppy, because again the Linux kernel could fit on a floppy disk back then.
Right.
You would get a Lilo that was skinned to look like the Red Hat Linux box art.
Oh yeah. Kind of look like this.
Yes, actually, kind
of. Yeah, I know. I remember.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I owned any of those, but I definitely saw them.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of the defining moments, man, of of me getting into Linux.
I mean,
and
I
all
always
that
thought I
stuff.
was a little clever by having the kernel and the bootloader installed on the floppy disk instead of the hard drive, because it will boot into Windows if you don't have the diskette in. But if you had my diskette in, then you'd suddenly be in Linux and you'd be in my secret system.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man, that was so cool.
This is how 12-year-old Neal thought of everything.
Yeah, that's about right. That is about right. All right. Well, I think we're way past time, and
Well-
Neal, thanks for coming in.
That's
and,
okay. Yeah, no, really. Yeah. It's been fun.
I hadn't
Yeah.
thought about this book, and I hadn't thought about Mandrake, and I hadn't thought about SUSE and hats in a very long time. So I really do appreciate.
I don't know about thinking about hats as a normal thing for for Linux user space, though.
Yeah, probably not.
There's one, and it's
Yeah,
in the
but
background of most of the videos. There's a hat.
You know what the worst part about that cap is?
What?
It doesn't have the proper Ubuntu logo for a cap.
Wait, what do you mean?
I like.
You know what I'm talking about, Dan.
Yeah, so like, that's like I like the new one actually. The new one seems more inclusive.
I feel
But
less.
you need
Hold on.
hands. You need some hands on that.
Yeah, you need to have the circle of friends proper.
Oh, this was
Yeah.
the middle logo though. Hold on, wait.
It was, and I like the earlier one or the newer one. I feel
It was
like.
just
Yeah, I
a
don't know.
product of when I was able to press the buy button. Really,
I get that.
No, totally get it. But like, as someone who cut his teeth on Ubuntu 504 Breezy Badger, like
you talking about
circle of friends.
Let me see. Oh yeah, okay. You may not be able to see it if you're not
Like
on
the
the
one that's
live
on
stream,
on the disc.
Yeah.
On the art on that.
but
Yeah,
the
like
three
have-
colored one, right?
ship it
The-
one.
There is a box somewhere in my house that is 600 copies of Ubuntu 606.
I don't
because-
have that many.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
cow! Yeah,
I
no,
bought-
no.
Because at one point, Canonical's free CD program required a minimum quantity of like 20, and
Yeah.
for the giggles, I picked the maximum quantity, which was 500.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
That you
I
got
always-
the
gave
need
me
on that.
more.
For three releases, I put the number 50 in, and they just sent me 50. So you have one.
This is what you're talking about right there.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
wow.
that's 510 right
and
there.
that
So,
logo,
yeah,
right? The one
that's
with the
one.
yellow, the orange, and the red.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, the
Yeah.
multicolor one. That's
Right,
that.
that's the
That was
proper one.
pretty. Yeah.
But I'm looking at it now, and I think you're right? Like there was very few logos where it was orange on white. It was mostly
Yeah.
white on
Mhm.
orange.
Well, they really
and so the
did
disc-
it was
The disc was orange.
yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
So back in the day, they really didn't want to have a white logo ever.
Ah.
So like they would either use the multicolored one, or they try to make it so that the Ubuntu logo, when it was in monocolor or a single color, was in black. They
Mhm.
didn't want
Oh.
to do white
Interesting.
because I don't remember exactly. Don't quote me on this. I don't actually remember for certain, but I think the idea was that white is not a particularly humanistic color.
Yeah, that makes
And-
sense.
And like it's the same reason that they avoided blue, right? Like at the time, everybody was using blues, some degree of a cold blue color.
Yeah.
And it was one of the defining properties back then that you would use a warm color palette.
Mhm.
Yeah. Orange and yellow. They're very warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, orange, remember orange came later for the Ubuntu palette. Originally it was brown.
That's true.
Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where they started. Yeah, but
I think they was like Feisty Fawn. I think it was 704.
But brown is
Gosh, I
is
don't
the
remember the code
human
names, isn't it?
color, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
It's-
the idea was that it's supposed to be
Yeah.
a humanistic color.
Yeah.
And like picking color tones that are warm and inviting, but also actually exist in the real world was
Mhm.
kind of the point.
Yep. Well, they kind of hit it.
And now
Back
they're
then.
purple.
yeah.
I like purple, but
The
not a lot
purple
of
is
humans are
nice.
purple.
No, they are
purple
not.
is- the purple
No.
is nice.
Not usually.
Humans are not, unless you're King George III, who is suffering from a disease that turns your poop purple.
Yeah.
That's not. You're not normally going to get purple out of a human body.
Well, listen.
Yeah.
That's not- that's
maybe
not- yeah.
maybe they're being even more inclusive. Have you peeked into the UFO people lately? Because I mean, things getting
I
heavy.
try not to.
things are getting heavy right now, and there may be some
I
purple
mean, that
people.
whole that's a whole weird world down there.
Yeah.
And
Leo, we don't have
I
time
do
for
love me
I
some
don't have
purple.
that kind of
conspiracy stuff.
time, you know, and I
Yeah.
don't have the bandwidth, and yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I have bigger problems to deal with.
yeah, my other ISP didn't have the bandwidth either. That's why we had to swap.
That's why I had to swap midstream.
A live switcheroo.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have. So, yeah,
We
man.
do?
Thanks for coming, everybody. Ryan, Dan.
I thought we
Yeah,
always have.
yeah,
more
it was
time.
nice to actually join you on one of these.
Yeah, I really
so.
appreciate it, man. Bruno, Neal, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. And I think we're probably gonna take a bit of a break, right? We're skipping the next
We're gonna
episode.
do some holiday stuff. Yeah, we're gonna skip the holiday. Yeah, we're gonna skip over a little bit. We're gonna be back in the new year. Yeah.
Yeah, because that episode would
Sure.
have dropped on Christmas, and I mean, people got things to do on a day like
Yeah,
that.
even
I don't know if why not wake up and unwrap presents and listen to some Linux user space while you're at it.
I was thinking the exact same
Oh.
thing, and then I was like, ooh, but then I'd be editing like the day before Christmas.
Hey,
So I
nothing's
was like,
keeping you from doing that without a new.
yeah, yeah.
Well, then you
so-
gotta leave some good holiday recommendations for people then.
Okay, all right.
Oh.
That is, now, what I was thinking was I might do another live stream or two, watching me explode Gentoo or something like that. But
that
That'd
could
be
happen.
fun.
yeah,
That would work.
yeah, that may be what we do in the interim. But until then, yeah, we're gonna take ourselves a break and enjoy the winter, and we'll see everybody else again in a little while.
A couple
You'll
weeks
hear from
or
us.
so.
We'll
Yeah.
be around.
Yeah, we'll be around.
All right. So until then,
Yep.
we'll see
Have
ya.
a nice holiday.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Thanks all.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Take care.